Ladies, if you misbehave, you got to come to the timeout room and you're going to get paddled. My beautiful African queens, my butter almond and butter pecan, my caramel, my guave, my chocolate fudge, my African buttercream, my pina colada, my caramel, my cinnamon, my nutmeg queens. If you misbehave, you got to come and get 3 strokes. Oh, yes, with the RBG paddle.
Got one question, the Charles principle. Woo. Every time I turn around, there's another paint day going down. Another speech, another grand plan, another promise that began. Talking real big, talking real tall, got an answer for it all. Everybody looking to see how this story ends, wondering if the school ever opening. One day it's this, next day it's that. Everybody laughing in the Cookie Crush chat. Is this the man that claims to be the boss? Every conversation turns into a cookie-free call. Ooh, the mold keeps growing. Ooh, the grass need mowing. Ooh, FDMG keeps rolling on. The Charles principle. The Charles principle. The one who's paddling your mom. That Charles principle. Every week another big reveal. Every donation is money he steals. Oh, that Charles principle. Ooh, the one with the speech for every occasion. That Charles principle. Everybody singing while the groove rolls on, trying to figure out what's going on. Always an excuse for the school's delay, a different explanation every single day. A cell phone and a park is all he needs when he should be applying for jobs on Indeed. The chat starts booming, the memes start flying. He starts screaming and you know he's lying. Scrubbing toilets, painting mold. Every year this story's getting old. Losing donors day by day. All donations increase his pay. Ooh, the mold keeps growing. Ooh, the grass need mowing. Ooh, FDMG keeps rolling on. That Charles principle. The one who's paddling your mom. That Charles principle. Every week another big reveal. Every donation is money he steals. Oh, that Charles principle. Every occasion, that Charles principle. Everybody singing while the groove rolls on, trying to figure out what's going on. Now somebody asks one question and somehow gets a 30-minute lesson. Somebody tell me, is this your guy? 14 years and running with this lie. Cookie Crush chat, break it down. Is that him? Is that him? That's him. That's him. Is that another live stream? That's him. That's him. Is that another speech? That's him. That's him. Is that another explanation? That's him. Well, all right then, Charles principle. The one everybody knows by name. That Charles principle. He keeps rolling on, and somehow the lives still holding strong. That Charles principle. Ooh, the one who always steals the show. That Charles principle. A cause to bedtime and a baseline smooth. Everybody laughing and feeling the groove. Ooh, that Charles principle. That Charles principle.
All right, shout out to Black Mario. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Hope y'all doing all right. My kids, they drying clothes. Let me know if you guys can hear it, because if you can hear it, I'll go turn it off. Close the door. That's where Umar, he's staying in Mama closet. That's actually what I would call the laundry room. There's just no washer or dryer in there. He's been living in his mama house since at the end of 2019 to present. So when he live streamed from his mama closet, that's what that is. It's where they would have a wash machine and dryer. But there is no washer machine and dryer. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for tuning on in. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful day. We got quite a bit to get into today, and I will live stream tomorrow because I want to get to the video where Umar, he's speaking in front of children, and it is just, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And it was on his birthday. Okay? He was down there in Juryville, whatever, Juryville something, with the other scammers down there. Okay, we'll get into that tomorrow. Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear it. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. We're I ain't got nothing to say about that. I ain't got nothing. I have absolutely no comment. I have no comment on that at all. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to everyone in the Cookie Crush chat. Thanks to the moms too for being here as well. I appreciate y'all. Okay, yeah. Good evening, Eileen Gal, and Dax is in the building, and Lynn's in the building as well. Yeah, thank you, Lynn, for your hard work. But I also want to thank you, Umar, for all the laughs provided by his antics. Yeah, he's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. So shout out to Umar. He hasn't gone up to them panels in a long time, though. I know that. He'll get up there soon enough. No, I didn't throw it away. I didn't throw it away. I was thinking about it, though. I was self-conscious about it. I don't know how that plant got there. It's just a comfortable coincidence. I don't know how that plant got there at all. It don't even look right there. I don't know what happened. But anyway, okay. Thank you guys again for tuning in. So let's get right on into it. I want to get going here because I don't want to keep you guys too long. I'm trying to do shorter shows. That's the objective here. So we've been covering Umar's trip to Jamaica, and there's been a lot going on with that. And then he was interviewed. I want to play that interview again today. We're going to start from the beginning. I won't comment. I'll just let it go straight till we get to the part where we ended yesterday. And then I think there's one other video I want to pull up, and then we'll be done for the day. So we shouldn't be here for too long. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's get right on this. Shout out everyone inside the Cookie Chat. Here we go. Oh, real quick, there is a poll question too. Has Umar Johnson received enough FDMG donation money to open something by now? 92% said yes, 8% said no. And I actually have a video I'll play a little bit later on just to break down the financials. And yeah, make sure you get your vote in during this live stream. Okay, here we go.
Psychologist and Pan Africanist Dr. Umar Tunde, and we're examining how Garvin's ideas can shape and inspire a whole new generation. Inspired him to
morning,
inspire
sir.
a whole new
Good
generation.
morning.
Good
Welcome
to have
Smile.
you.
Glad to be with you.
Tell me a little bit about that inspiration.
My inspiration with regard to the Honorable Marcus Garvey actually came from my childhood neighborhood, the international headquarters for the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League is in North Philadelphia. My mother used to purchase my tennis shoes right next door to the Garvey house, but I never knew it was the Garvey house from 4th grade to my junior year of college. And finally, they painted it red, black, and green, and they put Garvey's picture in the window. That's when I knew.
No
so I'm standing there, and an elder comes around the corner, Johnny Gossett. He's an ancestor now. He was the keeper of the building. He said, "May I help you?" I said, "Yes, Marcus Garvey's picture in the window. The building is red, black, and green. What's going on in here?" He said, "Come back Sunday at 3 p.m. I came back at Sunday at 3 p.m., and it's been 25 years.
And I explained yesterday how it hasn't been 25 years. This is Umar lying. Furthermore, Johnny Gossett, Umar disrespected Johnny Gossett in his UNIA resignation letter back in 2005. Okay, Umar he hasn't been in the UNIA since 2005. He tried to get back in one of the Detroit chapters or divisions, but that was denied. But he's acting as if he's still currently an active member. He lies all the time. And real quick, let me just go here. 2005 is when he put in his resignation letter. And in 1996, that's when he joins the Garvey movement, the UNIA. So 1996 to 2005, we're talking roughly 9 years. But Umar says 25 because he's a pathological liar. All right. Why? What happened? What you guys doing in the chat room? Miranda says my side hurts. What happened? Am I doing something? What happened? Somebody let me know. Did I miss something? Y'all be cutting up. Yesterday, y'all was cutting up bad. It was so unprovoked. Okay, yeah, let me know if I missed something in the chat because I try not to. Oh, somebody said Umar vomited on his pants. What are you guys doing in here? I'm trying to see what happened. Okay, all right. I thought I did something. See, I'm self-conscious now because y'all was clowning me bad yesterday. I don't know. I think it was Dr. Nene who started it. Y'all ain't gonna let that go, huh? You guys. Anyway, thanks, Miranda, for the super chat. I was wondering what was going on. Okay, I don't know where the sign is at. I want people to stop talking about it. Okay, I don't want people to even bring it up. I don't even know what you're talking about. What sign? I don't. It's still there. Somebody put this plant there, right? I don't know when they put it there. Somebody put it there. I don't know who, because it's heavy. I don't know who put that thing there. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. Yeah, it was going in on me so. That was going in on me so bad. I said, "Dang!" Somebody said, "Take a drink for every reference." All right, y'all like, let me get out this chat room. I don't know. They going in on me again. Oh man. Okay, let me get out this chat room. Okay, let's get focused here. Here we go.
Was there something specific that you heard that held you?
Well, my elementary school was 4 walking blocks away from the UNIA. So this is my neighborhood. We had Black history class in the 4th and 5th grade. So that's 9 and 10 years old. In the 6th grade, my father took me to my first family reunion in Washington, D.C. That's when I learned that I was related to the Honorable Frederick Douglass, for whom Marcus Garvey named the first Black Star Line steamship. Yes, Frederick Douglass and my 4 times great-grandfather were first cousins, half brothers, because the slave master raped both of their mothers. So that was my
there's no evidence of that too, by the way.
Inspiration for Black consciousness. And then I met Garveyism around the corner.
I'm sorry.
Did you learn about
Both of their mothers. So that was my inspiration for Black consciousness. And then I met Garveyism around the corner.
Did you?
Yeah, and by the way, real quick, I showed this yesterday. The Bailey family, this is the Frederick Douglass family. They put this out back in April of 2016, stating that Umar Johnson is not related. And they use very specific terminology here. They say the official Douglass family tree is held in the archives at the Frederick Douglass National Historic Site in Washington, D.C. Mr. Johnson's name is not on it. Okay, so this is back in 2016. Umar, he still kept running with the lie. And then the Bailey family, meaning the Frederick Douglass family, they were pressuring Umar Johnson's father, Jamal, and they pressured him to take a DNA test. And on June 25th of 2018, he posted this. Let me just go to the part where he says, okay, just based on the test alone, it appears that I am not related to the late, great Frederick Douglass, as I have been led to believe all my life and have taught to my children. That includes Umar. Additionally, it opens up the door for to so many other questions related to my family lineage. I am hoping that the results are in error, but it doesn't appear to be so. As a result, I at least accept them as valid and as such, excuse me, acknowledge that according to the results, I and my children, that includes Umar, are not related to the Frederick Douglass lineage. Okay, so this is in 2018. We're now in 2026, and Umar still runs with the lie. He's over in Jamaica lying about it. Okay, diabolical.
Garvey in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic.
Some of us have gone through all of that, but we didn't stay the road. What made you stay the road?
I believe I was born to do the work. I was raised, my mother, Christian, Baptist. My father was Sunni Orthodox Islam. Neither one of them particularly gave us Black consciousness. They gave us good character, hard work, love and service to others. but not the black consciousness. So for me to be how I am, I think the ancestors put it in me.
Can we talk a little bit about black consciousness?
Sure.
What that looks like in today's world? Well, certainly where you live. No, that's my goodness, what a time.
What a time.
In the United States of America.
What a time.
But globally, when we talk about black consciousness and when we talk about the Pan African movement, what are we talking about that?
Pan Africanism, I could sum up in 3 main points. All members, blood members of the African race constitute a single, unique family, and that racial identity as an African supersedes every other identity.
Yeah, but if that's the case, he wouldn't have created DAFA, the descendants of African freedmen in America, and then throw Jamaicans under the bus with this alleged Jamaican immigrant building inspector who's sabotaging FDMG and it won't give Umar the certificate of occupancy. Right. Total contradiction there. CJ says, did they not vet him before having him on? Yeah, I don't think they did. I don't think they did. I don't know for sure, but I don't think they did. People don't look enough into Umar. They don't. You know, they'll see him on the Breakfast Club or on the Art of Dialogue, or they'll see him, you know, running his mouth somewhere where he's giving a lecture, and they assume that's what he's speaking about is what he's about. But he's not about that. He's not even about Pan Africanism. He's not. So in that sense, yeah, I don't think that they have. It doesn't seem to me that they have, because I would think that someone, you know, with this type of a platform, because it looks like they got a nice setup and everything, but they have Umar on. On the other hand, CJ, maybe they do know and they just don't care. And we've seen plenty of people do that, having Umar on. Yeah. All right, let's go.
It's more important than being Christian. It's more important than being Muslim. It's more important than being Jamaican. It's more important than being an American African.
Okay, if it's more important than being Jamaican, then why did he delineate between Jamaican immigrants and throw Jamaicans under the bus? You see what I'm saying? He's such a hypocrite.
Supersedes everything. Why? Because God made us African. The only thing you belong to that God chose.
Well, when the human species was on the planet initially, there was no Africa. So cut it out. What you talking about?
Was your Africanity. Everything else your family chose, you chose. So for us, the African identity is supreme. Number 2, whatever is to be done for African people must be done by African people. Self-determination without any interference from any alien group. That is very important. Number 3, repatriation and reclamation of Africa. The Honorable Marcus Garvey said, a strong man is strong everywhere.
Okay, a strong man ain't living off his mama at the age of 52, Umar. What are you talking about?
I travel all over the world. Wherever you see the Chinese, they're strong. Wherever you see the Indian.
That's not true. What are you talking about? And then he says Indian, meaning people from India. What are you talking about? There's poverty in India. There's poverty in China. They have a caste system still in effect in India. The Dalit. What are you talking about, Umar?
They're strong. Wherever you see the Jew or the Anglo-Saxon, they're strong. And wherever you see the African, we are economically, psychologically, and politically compromised. It is a global reality.
Not everybody. What are you talking about? He speaks in such just extreme generalizations. It's ridiculous.
So we would say it's Pan-Africanist, and as Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanist in particular.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, see, Umar, he talks that talk, but the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of people from over in Africa that come up over here and trying to come up over here. So what is he talking about? There's people from Europe that try to get up over here. There's people from South America that try to get up over here. I'm talking about to the United States of America. So this whole idea of repatriation, as he said, well, Umar, go take your ass up over there then.
Until Africa rises, the rest of us cannot. You cannot separate the progress of Jamaica from the progress of Africa. You cannot separate the
Yes, you can. You sure can. What are you talking about, Umar? Africanity is this dancery. No, every time he says Africanity, I'm like, what in the world? This guy, Africanity is this dancery. Don't need no hateration, holleration. Isn't that what's her name? Isn't that what's her name? Not Lauryn Hill. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Okay, let me read it one more time. Africanity in this dancery. Don't need no hateration, holleration. Who did this? This is D 1957. All right. Okay, that's what's her name. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, D 1957. Did Africans build that? No, I know. You know, if it has to be done by Africans, then that Mama Claus needs to be built by Africans. Then Africans be. Let me stop, because now I sound mean. Them Africans was in Umar's closet. They was in there frying potatoes. All right, I'm just playing. That's too far. No disrespect to my African brothers and sisters. On my mama's side, my great grandfather, he came over from Africa, so I don't want people getting mad at me. All right, thanks a lot. Okay, you guys are hilarious. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go.
Progress of Black America or Brazil or the UK or Australia, any group, you cannot separate it from the progress of Africa. As the mother goes, so goes the children.
Right. What about
Umar's arms be jiggling? I just noticed that. How your arms jiggling? Umar, he up in here trying to be Mr. T and shit. And why don't you dress the part? This guy, he come up in here in a t-shirt. All right.
The progress of Black America or Brazil or the UK or Australia, any group, you cannot separate it from the progress of Africa. As the
that's Mary J. Yeah, I had a crush on Mary J back in the day. I used to play her song over and over again. If You Look In My Life, I love that album. I had it on CD.
The mother goes, so goes the children.
Right. What about reparations?
Reparations is very important.
Yeah.
And as you know, this past March, President John Mahama of Ghana, and I just received my Ghanaian citizenship last year. And I have
so what? No one's talking about that. He always got to talk about
ancestry from Ghana as well. He was in New York City, the historic United Nations resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade the worst crime in human history. Subsequent to that, he came to North Philadelphia, my neighborhood, Temple University. I had the opportunity to see him speak. I actually received my citizenship the day before he was sworn in Ghana. So I didn't get a chance to see him then because I was flying out, but I did see him in North Philadelphia. Didn't get a chance to meet, but I heard the message. So I appreciate what he did. Continuing on the legacy of Osachifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and others, reparations is key. However, we cannot wait for it. We must continue to work. My concern about the reparations push is too many diasporan Africans. We, the children of the transatlantic slave trade, we're waiting. We can't wait. We continue to fight for reparations, and we continue to fight to improve our condition.
You're not fighting for anything except donations. What are you talking about? You fighting for reparations, Umar? When? Has anyone ever seen Umar fight for reparations? He can't even clean up his room. What is he talking about, fighting for reparations? And he says we. It ain't no we, it's just him.
And where we are as it is, you cannot wait. That would be a trap.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Everybody waiting on that school. He ain't saying nothing about that. Where's the school at, Umar?
Dr. Ifatunde, we were speaking before we came on.
Sir.
And one of my friends, when they heard I was going to interview you, he said I should ask you because you said you should not marry outside of your race.
Absolutely.
And he's...
Listen, Cat Williams. Somebody said, look, listen, Timu Cat Williams. Nobody care about all that. Let me stop. You guys are a bad influence. You guys are a bad influence on me. All right, here we go.
Said, what about Jamaica? We're out of many one people, so we have different kinds of Jamaicans. We look differently. And if some people might say there's a white Jamaican. So should I not marry a
Yeah, he got a white woman.
Jamaican if she doesn't look like me?
My opinion on interracial marriage is identical to that of His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. No black
Yeah, but wasn't he cheating on his wife with the secretary? Anyway.
man has any business dating, mating, or procreating outside of the race. No black woman has any business dating, mating, or procreating outside of the race. There are more black women in the world than any other population. She outnumbers everybody as a population. So if you don't like the African women in Jamaica, go to Haiti, go to Brazil, go to Barbados, go to Africa, go to Canada. There's too many black women in the world for a black man to end up with anything other than a black woman. I do not support it at all. I have nothing against the white woman. I have nothing against the Chinese, the Asian, the Latino. They are human beings. I respect everybody. But a black man's place is next to the black woman, and a black woman's place is next to the black man.
Okay, well then why aren't you in a relationship with a black woman? Why aren't you married at the age of 52, living in your mama's closet? Anyway.
And I won't accept anything else.
Right.
Because we are God's chosen people. African people are God's chosen people. We have an obligation to rebuild the race from within.
That's a bunch of bullshit right here. I want to hear that. What are you talking about?
How am I helping my race? How am I helping my community when the black woman is the
Okay, listen, he can't give an answer. He just says why. He can't give him what? For the first he says, because we're God's people. Oh, what is that's the reason? And then he starts rambling about this right here. He don't have a legitimate reason.
accept anything else.
Right.
Because we are God's chosen people. African people are God's chosen people. We have an obligation to rebuild the race from within. How am I helping my race? How am I helping my community when the black woman is the least likely to get married? She's the last married, the first divorce.
Well, why don't you marry one then? If it's such a big deal, why don't you go and marry one? At least one, because you said you want two, but just one. You ain't never been married, 52. He still ain't answered the question, though. Why?
We have all these single women with children, raising them on their own.
Yeah, and you've created 3 of them. You big bum. You baby mama creator. Umar, he's created at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. And he ain't married not one woman. But somehow other black men gotta make up for the difference, pick up his slack as a deadbeat bum. He's a baby mama creator. He got some nerve to be taught. So somehow we got to pick up the slack. No. Let me show y'all something real quick. It just came to mind because I mean, it's basic. There's nothing deep about it. This guy has at least 3 baby mamas. And I have the receipts. I can show you his child support docket for those baby mamas. I'm not going to pull that up because I want to do a short show. But when Umar was over there in the UK, oh, the video's not coming up. Hold on one second. I thought I had it in this folder. Oh, it is in this folder. Hold on, I know where it's at. When he was over in the UK, he got called out by this sister out there. There we go. This was in May 22nd of 2025.
That came to build up this country, okay? I've heard everything you had to say this evening. Now, on top of all of that, all of us are sitting here, we have all got children ourselves. You targeted one thing for me this evening is the speech that you're making this evening is well and good doing it to us, but it's the children after us that need to be hearing this, because I'm going to be dying and my next generation is my children and everybody else's children in this room, who at the end of the day is not hearing this preaching.
We need to teach them.
Now, I'm going to say one thing to you, yeah? I told my son, my youngest, he's 27 years old, he was raised appropriately, he works, he has a profession, okay?
Oh.
I told him, I'm coming to Birmingham to see you. He said, oh, I said I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters. Do you know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. But and I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it if he's talking about representing the black sisters and the black sisters, man, our brothers need to know who we are and be dating the black sisters in the community or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has three, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife. That's what my son said to me.
There you go.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
I don't know.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
You hear him yelling and screaming? He's like a toddler. See, he doesn't know how to regulate his emotions. But the truth is, and now he's saying, when did I get a third baby and a third baby mama, or a third baby mama and a third baby? Well, I'll show you. Umar, you baby mama creator. But we got to, you black men, because it ain't me, I'm already married. I ain't into that polygamy shit. So he talked to the rest of you black men up here, because there's all these black women out here that don't got, they got impregnated and they raising their kids by themselves because the deadbeat daddies like Umar. But Umar creates 3 of those types of those women, I should say. And so somehow y'all, you black men up in here in the chat room, or anyone else who watched this at a later date, you guys are responsible to make sure that those women have husbands. But the question becomes, when did Umar get his third baby and the third baby mama? Well, let's go. Let me show you the receipts. Here's the first baby mama right here. Put him on child support. And he was on child support from 2002 to 2021. This docket is extensive. 74 docket entries. The complaint for support was in 2002. The defendant has signed an acknowledgement of paternity in 2002. That's at the bottom. And then the final order agreement was also in 2002. This is the first baby mama. Okay, Umar's asking, when did I get a third baby? Well, I'm going to show you when you got the third baby mama. Here's baby mama number 2. This is from 2015 to 2017. I don't want to speculate publicly as to why this child support docket is so short. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. The complaint for support was in 2015. Paternity order issued. The biological father stipulation, the defendant, 2011, 2016. The order was set to 0 due to lack of income and assets. That's in 2016. Umar doesn't have any income or any assets. He wasn't working in 2016, but he sure was collecting donations. Matter of fact, by the end of 2016, Umar was at $1 million of donation money for FDMG. Isn't that deep? So that's a second baby mama. This is a second baby mama hired a lawyer and was going through the Human Services, Department of Human Services. The complaint for support, 7/24/2015. Miscellaneous docket text. Defendant has signed an acknowledgement of paternity. Actually, I think this is the third baby mama. Now I think about it. I think this goes to the other one. Yeah, I got these. I think I got, no. Hold on one second. Let me see something. It's 2015, 7/24. Yeah, maybe she went through, because it's the same name. I took the person's name out of this one. Unless this is another baby mama. Wait a minute. Let me look at this. This goes through 2017. This goes through 2017. Yeah, no, I think this is the same one. Yeah. Just the final order in 324. Final order 304. Yeah, I'm going to actually have to look into this a little bit further. Yeah, I'm going to have to go look at the one that's not redacted, though. I'm just trying to, let me see, final order was 3. That doesn't match up either. Non-disbursement, September 7th, 2017. I don't see anything for September 304, 211. 211. Hold on. I'm intrigued now. 2017. Yeah, I'm going to have to cross-reference this with, maybe I got it. No, that can't be it. Yeah. Or anyway, I got to go back and look at the one that's not redacted. I have those. I'm just not going to show because it'll show the litigants, the name. I don't feel comfortable doing that. This one I could put it because it says Department of Human Services, but I can cross-reference the docket number and the case ID. Anyway, this is at least the second baby mama. I'll say it that way. And then here's the third baby mama. This was from 2017 to 2025, and actually through 2026. This is ongoing right here. The complaint for support was filed pro se in 2017, and this is ongoing. In fact, he had an entry this year, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, this year in January or February of this year. I sent that to James. He saw that. Umar has another entry, and he may have another one by now. I just haven't looked in a while. But anyway, these are the 3 baby mamas at least. So when Umar says, and he's yelling and screaming, where did I get a third baby mama? I just showed you that you have at least 3. And I actually have to take a closer look at this other docket because the dates don't line up here. This may be another baby mama that went through the Department of Human Services. Yeah, or or I can go back and look at the first baby mama and see if the complaint for support, no, that's not going to line up. Yeah, that's not, because the complaint is 7/15/2002. Maybe it does. Let me just look and then I'll move on. I apologize. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't line up. All right, I'm going to look at this a little bit further. Yeah, because this could actually be the third. This could be 3. Now I think about it. And what would be the third one, not the fourth one, but the third one, it could be that they hired a lawyer, and that's why their names, it doesn't show their name. It just shows the Department of Human Services. See how it says an attorney filed this? Anyway, I'll have to look deeper into this right now. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt that he has at least 3 in Philly alone. That at least that we know of in Philadelphia that's put him on child support. Okay. So we can say with absolute certainty that he had. And there's a fourth woman that attempted to put him on child support too. I have that. And that woman was in Philly, lived in Philly too, but that didn't go through. It probably wasn't his baby, but that means he was messing with her. Anyway.
I did say.
When did I get a third baby mama and a third baby? When did I get a third baby mama and a third baby?
Can I just say?
All right, I'll leave it right there. Let's get back to the main video. There's some super. Let me get these super chats. Thank you guys too again. Umar is lucky to have someone as principled and compassionate as you as his critic. You correct him, but don't advocate for his humiliation and destruction the way many, myself included, would. Yeah, I try to be compassionate. He gets on my nerves sometimes, and I'll you guys know, I'll let loose sometimes, but in general, I take a compassionate approach towards Umar. I know a lot more about Umar than I care to say. I mean, there's people who've sent me all types of information. There's information that people sent me that I haven't been able to verify, but then there's information that people sent me that I've been able to verify. In point of fact, one of the women that attempted to put him on child support, not the ones that we see here in these dockets, but there's another one. I was able to verify her connection to Umar. Because it's not something that someone sent me. I just know how to do the research. I have a degree in cybersecurity, computer technology, and during the coursework, we were taught how to find information. It's it's information that anyone can find. You just got to know how to research online. I don't even think it's difficult. I think once you learn how to do it, it's not something that's difficult. There's a process that I go through. So there's things that I know a lot more about Umar. I know a lot more about his family than I care to say, family members that I care to say. So when he was talking about how his parents taught him how to be right and live, I said, no. Cases on cases, if you guys catch my drift. Yeah, but I don't put that information out there. I try to be as compassionate as possible. I try not to talk about his mother in terms of her situation. At least I know I have, but I try to stay off of that topic. Same thing with the bumpity bump. Umar, you know what I'm talking about with that bumpity bump. So yeah, I try to be as compassionate as possible. As probably his, I don't know how to say this without sounding arrogant, but probably his most ardent critic. I'll say it that way. And yeah, I do a lot to correct him, but that's part of it is because I would like to see him get his life in order. But also, I think Umar, he's an excellent case study for men to look at, to say, okay, what do I need to correct myself? I've had to do that myself. Okay, over the last 10 years, I've really done everything in my power, to do better, to be better, and I still got a long way to go. So yeah, it's corrective, but it's also an opportunity to teach other men, hey, listen, this is Umar. He's a case study. Think about it. Umar has been given everything that he needs in life to be successful. Okay, now was his childhood difficult? Yeah, okay. Many of our childhoods were difficult. Well, I'm so thankful my kids ain't got to go through the kind of shit I went through and my siblings. All kind of craziness. I mean, even when they go back to school, because the two of them went back to school, just stuff like clothes and shoes. We got the hand-me-downs. Do you remember Payless? We would go to, if we got lucky, we'd get to go to Payless. But it was mainly shoes handed down and clothes handed down. And now in retrospect, it's not that big of a deal. Like thinking about it, it's like that's just how things were back then. We grew up poor. But the difference is that my children, they don't know that. Yeah, we've struggled in the past for sure. But I'm talking about, if they need new clothes, if they need new shoes. One of my sons, he got his braces off about a month ago. He was so happy. I was happy too. Anyway, simple stuff like that. My son's recently, real quick, then when we get back on. But recently, my son, because he works on music. All of my sons, they do music to a certain degree. But my youngest son, he works on music. I got him set up inside his room. His room is nice. I got him set up. That's what I would have loved to have that shit. When I was growing up, I had one instrument. It was a hand-me-down. It was a flute. And I always wanted to do music production, but I could never afford it and blah, blah, blah. But I made sure all of my sons had all that kind of stuff. And they're not deep into it. One of my sons, though, he doesn't realize how gifted he is as a composer. Okay? And not when I say composer, I'm talking about like writing music. This guy, he can write like scores. There's a program called MuseScore, and he can write out I can't even do that. This guy, and he just, I've taught him a couple of things here and there. Used to talk about music, but I always make sure he had what he needed, music instruments and all kind of. But anyway, so recently my youngest son, his headphones got broken, and that's what he likes to make beats on with these headphones. So he came down and said, "Hey, Dad, I need some new headphones." I said, "All right, let me get you some." It's just amazing. Now, there's been time like way back in the day, there's no way that I would have been able to do that. But that's what I'm saying. I really went through corrective measures to put my life on a particular track. I went back to school, got a degree, got a better job, and just doing a whole lot better, a whole lot better here on YouTube. And but that's what I mean by I had to do some introspection and look at what I need to change to do better. And I would like for Umar to do the same thing. And again, let me be clear, I'm not perfect. Okay, there's time that I will not be able to get back. I don't have a time machine. I'm into sci-fi, but I'll never be able to get that time back. And I've had to work on my mental health, dealing with, just feeling shame, deep shame, put you in a real bad mental state. But these days, I've kind of progressed beyond that, and I'm just thankful to be where I'm at, and I'm striving to get to the next level, the next level. I want that for Umar. As horrendous as he may be, as shady as he may be, his disrespect of black people, it's really a form of abuse of black women and their fears, using their fears, especially about their sons, against them, and using his education in psychology as a weapon against black people, and scamming and scheming and creating baby mamas and expecting black men, other black men, to pick up the slack, even though he's not even married. Despite all of that and a whole bunch more, I want to see Umar do better. So that's why I can have a level of compassion, and I can also offer corrective advice for Umar. But he's so hard-headed. He watches these videos, but he's hard-headed, and he thinks that he's God's gift. That's why he calls himself the Black Messiah. How are you the Black Messiah, Umar, when you living in your mama house at the age of 52, living off your mama in Section 8 housing? What kind of man? Anyway, thanks, CJ. Randy says he needs to do us a favor and stop wearing med tees. I don't know why he does that. I'm talking about in this type of scenario. Why would you go on this platform? Because it looks nice. The hosts are dressed nice, and I don't know what this look is. Somebody explain to me what is this? Is it hip hop? I don't know, hip hop, boogaloo.
Men out of board.
I say hip hop boogaloo. He got on a gold chain with Africa on it. I don't know, Randy. Does anyone know what this is? I got to change out this battery. Hold on. I think I got a little while. But what is this? Got on some Nikes. He tell black people we're not supposed to be wearing Nikes because that's the white man, but he wears his Nikes. I don't have no Nike. I had some. I finally threw them away, but I had some Nikes that were my brother's, and this was probably this was about. Damn, has it been that long? Yeah. No, it can't be. Yeah, no, that's true. It was probably about 12 years ago, and my mama brought them up. This when we were living and still in California. My mom had brought them up and was like, "You want these shoes?" I said, "Well, where'd you get them from?" Because I thought she bought them. Said, "These are brothers. He left them at my house. He won't come pick them up." And they've been there for I don't know how long. She said, I can't even remember. I said, "All right, I'll take them." so I had some Nikes for a while, and I had them Nikes. I kid you not, probably about 8-9 years. But I threw them away. I think it was last year when I got new clothes and stuff. I said, "Okay, let me let them go." But Umar tells black people that we shouldn't be buying Nikes because that's the white man, and we shouldn't be spending our money on that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. But look what he got on. He got on some Nikes. He don't have a job or a legitimate business, right? So I don't know what this look is. So he has on, bracelets and stuff, and then the pants. I don't know exactly what that is. And then he has some Nikes, and he got on a tight ass shirt. And then he has on a gold necklace with Africa. Somebody said, let me get out this chat room. Let me get out. All right. Anyway, so I just showed you guys his 3 baby mamas. Here's number 1. Here's number 2. This is through the Human Resources Department, but I actually think this may be, anyway, I'm not going to go through that again. I got to go cross-reference stuff. This because it could be 4. But here's baby mama number 2. Here's baby mama number 3. I can say with absolute certainty that he has at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. That looked like MC Bummer. Yeah, it does. It kind of reminds me of MC Hammer. It kind of does.
Gone through all of that.
I just don't understand why he would dress like this for this type of because they're dressed nice. They're dressed nice, and they have a nice setup here. The studio setup. And Umar, he come in. I don't know what to call it. MC Bummer. All right. Thanks, Marco. Hope you're doing all right. Okay, let me get caught up on all these super chats. Then we'll wind this video down. And I got one more to show you guys. Black Wolf gifted a membership. Thanks so much, Black Wolf. Matter of fact, tomorrow we'll get together members. We'll do part 2 or part 3 of the Cheyenne Bryant series. Okay, I'll set that up after this show. I'll set up tomorrow's show for everyone too. We'll do the Cheyenne Bryan thing before we do the show for everyone. Okay, so just for you members, so you know, I'll set it up after this live stream. Thanks, Black Wolf. Lewis Luck says, when you said Umar was at $1 million, I thought that's what he owed in child support. Listen, I don't know how much money Umar has paid out in child support and owes in child support because he doesn't pay on time. Okay, and I've never been on child support. Okay, all of my kids are with my wife. I've never been on child support, but from what I understand, there are fees and stuff that accrue if you're in the arrears, if you don't pay on time. And Umar consistently, that's what his child support docket shows for the baby mamas. Every time you see generic order, they can't find his income. Okay, and there are times here where he is working. You know, 2002, that's when he was actually a school psychologist. But if you see a generic order in December of 2002, that means he wasn't working as a school psychologist at that time. They're trying to find out. And who knows what kind of shady, because Umar's been shady, so who knows? And the following day, ordered employer to modify income attachment. Okay, so that's just, see, what I think is probably is that he wasn't paying, and maybe he was telling them, I don't know, I'm just speculating here. He was telling them he's not working at that time, but they were able to find his employer and then ordered the employer to modify the income attachment. Okay, but anytime you see generic order in 2003, okay, and then you see again an order employer to terminate income. Yeah, and it could be that, and we would have to look into this further. It could be that in the months where Umar is not actually working as a school psychologist because it's not year round because school lets out, he may be reporting that he doesn't have any income. And so that's where they order him to pay child support based upon the minimum requirement, which is minimum wage. And so whatever minimum wage would have been back in 2002, that's what they would base his child support payment off of. And it wouldn't be minimum wage. They would take a percentage of what minimum wage would be, and that would be what he would need to pay. But consistently throughout, you see that Umar does not pay child support on time. So Lewis, what I'm saying is that over the decades of not paying child support on time, there's all types of fees that accrue, and who knows how much money Umar has had to pay, and most of, at this point, the money that he's paying out is from donation money. So the donors are paying his child support, but he expects you black men to make up for it. See what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got the video right here. Let me show you guys, since you brought it up. Let me show you guys something. Umar, he even admitted to not paying child support on time. He said he paid his child support in bulk. That's what he said. Oh, wait, I didn't pull it up. Hold on a second. I got it right here. This is at the 10-minute, 30-second mark.
Practice, nor do many other.
Sitting in his mama closet. They can become
economically castrated. They don't want the white man in their business, and I don't want the white man in my business. I missed the child support payment last month. I did, and this is just me personally. I pay my child support in bulks, so I'll pay a couple months at a time. And my youngest daughter mother reported me for missing last month's child support, so I got to go before the judge. Okay, and
okay, and he's lying right there. I've already talked about this. We've researched this. If you miss one payment, you don't have to go to court right away. That's not how that works. You have to miss multiple payments over time. And that's what Umar has done. That's what his child support doc, because I didn't show you guys the other pages. I mean, there's periods where, like, for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, they can't find Umar's employment, but that's because he wasn't working.
I should not have to go before the judge. I pay my child support. I've been paying it. My oldest daughter, 19, I've been paying her child support since she was 3 months old. My youngest daughter is
yeah, that's not true either.
10, and I'm just giving y'all this self-disclosure.
Look, hold on. Let me take that back, because I'm gonna give Umar the benefit of the doubt. Let's go back to that first docket right quick. Okay, 2002 was the complaint. So I'm going to take that back. I'm going to cross-reference and make sure. Let me go over here on my timeline for his child support. There we go. So let's see. He was put on child support Yeah, and two, so one, so internship. Yeah, I can't actually write with what I have here. Hold on, let me check this other one. Okay, so I got it right here. I just don't want to say it. So let me go back.
I should not have to go down there. Dr. Judge, okay, and I should not have to go before the judge. Last month I did, and this is just me personally. I pay my child support in bulks, so I'll pay a couple months at a time. And my youngest daughter mother reported me for missing last month's child support, so I got to go before the judge. Okay, and I should not have to go before the judge. I pay my child support. I've been paying it. My oldest daughter, 19, I've been paying her child support since she was 3 months old.
Okay, that's true. No, that's true. I have that. Yep. Yep. So he's right. That's why I want to take that back. Okay, I apologize. I just looked at my timeline here. Okay, don't want to misrepresent the facts. Okay,
my youngest daughter is 10, and I'm just giving y'all this self-disclosure to add context. I should not have to go down there. Dr. Umar ain't got no business going to family court on Monday. I think I got to go down there to meet with this judge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay the missed payment. So when I get down there, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to pay the missed payment when I get down there, right? And I'm going to go before the judge, and I'm going to tell the judge I missed the payment because I pay.
Yeah, he's lying. He's lying. They're not going to call you down for one missed payment. Can you imagine how much that would, I mean, the child support system would come to a halt because there'd be so many people who miss one payment. That's not uncommon, actually. So all those people are going to be called in? Come on, it's ridiculous. Scott, he lies so much is crazy.
In bulk, right? And that's going to be the end of it. But it's a waste of time, and I got to get harassed by the judge. I got to sit around in family court, taking pictures with all my supporters, embarrassing myself because I'm back down here in family court for, my daughter's mother's need to try to inconvenience me when she knows she's going to get her money. So child support is often used by women. I'm not saying all women, Sister Judy, but child support is.
Yeah, and we have to, I mean, this guy, he's something else. He always blames others. It's always someone else's fault and sabotage these black women. Lewis says, I grew up poor too. I shopped at Payless. Payless. No, I remember Payless, not Walmart, Kmart. They used to have, what was it, the blue cells? They have a blue light that would flash. But going to Kmart was like, wow, we're going to Kmart. But when we would get new shoes, which was, from what I remember, it didn't happen, especially in the earlier days, from what I remember. It didn't happen that often. We would go to like Payless, but mainly it would just be hand-me-downs. Yeah. I'm just thankful that my children, they haven't had to experience that. They haven't had to experience like the lights being turned off for non-payment or gas or water, because we, as children, we experienced that quite a bit. And then, if and when my children, I hope they do soon, because I'm getting older, they have children, I'll do everything in my power to where they can have a better childhood than what my wife and I have been able to give to our children, because we always want to do better, But yeah, I remember them days, Louis Luck. That's why I'm so grateful. All right, thank you, Louis Luck. A lady says he looks like Tommy the Clown, but Tommy is. I remember Tommy the Clown. All right, thanks, a lady. Marco also says, okay, I got that one earlier. Okay, thank you guys for all the super chats and super stickers and everything else. I appreciate it. Let's move forward here because I want to make sure that I want to do a short show today. Again, tomorrow we'll do 2 shows, one for members only, and then we'll get together as for everyone. Okay, here we go.
Because we are God's chosen people. African people are God's chosen people. We have an obligation to rebuild the race from within. How am I helping my race? How am I helping my community when the black woman is the least likely to get married? She's the last married, the first divorced. We have all these single women with children, raising them on their own, trying to make men out of boys. How am I helping my race? By dating the daughter of a colonizer when I have so many of my own sisters who need me to help them raise them boys that they're trying to raise on their own.
Okay, Umar, you're not married. you have created at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. And actually, it could be 4. I got to go back and cross-reference this stuff. I just got to look at the redacted versions because I thought I had all this figured out. But I can say with absolute certainty that you created at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. It's highly likely that you got other baby mamas around the world because you a male hoe. But the point is, what woman have you committed your life to and you're helping to raise her son? You're not even raising your daughters. Or the other child, where the docket was short. But I'm not going to get into that, Umar. You deadbeat. You're sick for even, and you know what I'm talking about. You sick. You lack humanity in you. To say that you only have two baby or 2 children. Okay, you're playing semantics, and you know what I'm talking about. The sick individual. That's what I'm saying. Umar, he's a psychopath, or he's a sociopath, borderline psychopath. For him to say that he has 2. And he knows what I'm talking about too. It's horrible. But Umar, what black woman have you dedicated your life to and you're helping to raise their son? You're not even a man. How are you going to raise somebody else's son? You live with your mama at the age of 52 in Section 8 housing and been homeless since the end of 2019. What woman are you dedicated to and you're helping to raise their son? So all this other rhetoric about how, we shouldn't date outside the race because of these types of reasons. Okay, you're the problem in the first place because you're a baby mama creator, but you can't even live an example of a black man who will commit to a black woman and help raise her children. And in the meantime, you're not even taking care of your own. You deadbeat. Such a hypocrite. But you get on this platform looking like a broke bum Mr. T, dressing like a MC Hammer, half MC Hammer, half Kunta Kinte, talking about what black men need to do. And we shouldn't date out. Look, you date whoever you want to. Don't let this bum from Philly tell you who, which, what. Don't. Slavery is over with. You live your best life. Anyway.
They would probably say the daughter of a colonizer didn't choose to be the daughter of a colonizer.
That is true.
May not be a colonizer herself.
But the daughter of the colonizer had no problem accepting the benefits of the colonization. You yourself may have not been a slave owner.
Umar, stop throwing your hands around like you're doing the MC Hammer dance. Okay, stop it. This is all manipulation too. It's to make his point and be forceful about it. He got to throw his hands up in the air like he just don't care.
Of the colonizer had no problem accepting the benefits of the colonization. You yourself may have not been a slave owner. You yourself may have not been a colonizer, but you reap the benefits of that slavery. You reap the benefits of that.
Umar, will you please stop with all the ridiculous P. Diddy hand gestures? Umar, stop with the P. Diddy hand gestures, okay? The take that, stop.
Not been a colonizer, but you reap the benefits of that slavery. You reap the benefits of that colonization, and you've done nothing to level the playing field between your people and my people.
So this could be a whole, because I could say, what if the daughter were actually trying to? Anyway, we're going to go down.
Give me an example of that.
No, we're going to slippery slope. You have many white women who advocate for the rights of black people.
I want you
stand with. They're not black, but they don't believe in what happened to black people.
How do you actually know that? Because as a psychologist, you cannot read my mind. I can say anything and mean something completely different.
What is he talking about? He's so argumentative. And there have been plenty of white people. In fact, Marcus Garvey had a white woman that was helping inside of his cabinet. Umar. Frederick Douglass married a white woman. So cut it out.
Isn't that how the European took Africa?
See, no.
Look at this guy. Why you gotta do all the antics and all the unnecessary facial expressions and hand gestures? He's so over the top, but that's because he doesn't really have a strong point. So he has to go to the antics.
How do you actually know that? Because as a psychologist, you cannot read my mind. I can say anything and mean something completely different. Isn't that how the European took Africa?
See, no, this is why I'm telling you this could go on.
Well, Umar, your mind, you say all kind of stuff that you don't adhere to. Like we supposed to marry these black women, but you're not married to no woman, period. Black, white, or otherwise. And your mama don't count. Okay, and Mr. Enmeshment. Anyway.
A whole different road because we could take this into
Let's
a whole
take
different
it.
We can't.
Black
because
queens
because we
forever.
only have 4
No
minutes.
bunnies
We only
never.
have 4 minutes. We only have 4 minutes. So we have to come off the
Okay.
relationship track.
Yeah, Umar, he does not like to be challenged. He can't take it.
And let's talk a little bit about the movement now.
Yes, ma'am.
And your feeling about the Pan-African movement.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it growing? Is it taking root?
It's growing. Pan Africanism is experiencing a resurgence. Our critics would say, though, we have to put more metal to the movement. There's a lot of theory, ideology, but now we have to put it into place. And I think with this movement toward reparations, this movement towards dual citizenship, the success and the preeminence of Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso and what he's doing with the 2 other brothers
I thought he was going to say Captain Crunch.
there and the Sahel Alliance, is beginning to catch fire. But we have to stay focused and we must remain independent. There's no place for the Chinese in this movement. There's no place for the Indian, the Latino, the Jew, the Arab. This is for African people. We
Even
must
if they're
do it
trying to help
ourselves.
our cause?
There is no member of another race who cares enough about you to make you equal to his people. Because if you do that, if they do that, that imbalances their ability to exploit you. If Jamaica rises, how many Chinese businesses go out of business? If the black Jamaican rises, how many Indian businesses will go out of utilization? So our rise spells their economic disaster. Nobody wants to see the black man rise.
You speak later. In a nutshell, what would you
Yes,
say?
sir.
I know you want people to come and listen,
Absolutely. Tonight, iNation Lounge, Old Spanish Town Road, 7 to 12 p.m. tonight. I speak at 9. I'm going to speak about Garvey, because we really need to understand that. But I'm going to speak about the unity, because although white supremacy, which is now.
Louis Suck says if they're basing his income off minimum wage, he's probably only paying like $50 to $100 a month, and he struggles paying that. Well, the thing is that Umar doesn't want to pay. See, Umar, he'll spend donation money on clothes and jewelry. He'll spend donation money on trips to Africa.
Now beginning to yield.
He'll spend donation money on drugs. Let's be real about it. He'll spend donation money on hair dye. He'll spend money, donation money on clothes, dashikis, Nike shoes, rental cars, gambling. But he won't pay $500, $100 a month to support his children because he doesn't want to pay. I've talked about this. One of the reasons why Umar doesn't want to work a regular job or to run even if he ran social media, like an online business. That's what I consider what I'm doing here. That would still be subject to taxation, and it would be subject to wage garnishment. So Umar, he doesn't want to be employed on paper. See, that's why he has this it's really shady how this guy is. He'll set up the nonprofit for FDMG, collect money under that nonprofit, and then in the paperwork with the IRS, he shows that he's not paying himself any of that donation money, but he spent most of that money on himself. But see, when it comes to child support, the court, on paper, he's not working anywhere. So they go based upon minimum wage. There's a term for that. I talk about it in the documentary. It's minimum support obligation or something to that effect. And when they can't find his income and he's been largely unemployed, but that's on purpose. And there's people who operate like that. There's men, or there's probably women too. I'm sure there are women who do this too. But there's men who they'll say, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to work a job because I don't want to have to pay this child support." But he's collected millions of dollars for a school that does not exist and spent most of that money on himself. That's how diabolical Umar is. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But yeah, if they're basing it on minimum wage, yeah, and it's not what minimum wage would be if you were working a full-time job. It would be a percentage of what that would be. So yeah, it could be $50 to $100. So could he pay it? Yeah, he could pay that. But he don't. And consistently, he doesn't pay on time. And that's what his child support docket. I have proof and evidence to prove that to be the case. Yeah, it just goes to show you what type of person Umar is. He don't care about his kids. He's not spending any time with them. In fact, one of the reasons why he justifies not paying child support in his twisted mind is because he doesn't have visitation. And the way he looks at it is, I should be able to see my child how I want to be able to see my child, when I want to see my child, if I'm going to be paying. That's not how that works. That's just a horrible mentality. You should support your child, period, whether you have visitations or not, whether you have, if you have partial visitation, whatever the case may be, or partial custody. Okay, whatever the case may be, you support your child. You should be spending time with your child. Umar does not spend any time with his children. And when back in the day, he complained about being on supervised visitation. And that's a red flag right there. Why would people think that somehow they want to send their children to Umar when he can't even see his own children by himself? Which makes sense to me, knowing about Umar. He ain't got no business being around no children. So that's how Umar, so $50, $100. Yeah, listen, if it's $5, Umar wouldn't want to pay it because he's greedy. It's horrible. But he expects you, not me, because I'm married, I'm good. But you other black men ain't got no. You're supposed to be making up for all of this for him and all these other men that are baby mama creators and who don't commit to black women, who don't marry, blah blah blah. That's y'all respect, according to Umar. Meanwhile, he ain't doing none of that. He ain't never been married. But he get up on here looking like MC Kunta Kinte running his mouth. All right, thanks, Louis Luck. DB says, Holland and Umar equates child support with the mother's money. It's the child. Yeah. You can hear that in his terminology. Like, yeah, she's going to get her money. See how he thinks? Because he thinks it's a vindictive thing from the mother, but that's just another psychological game that he plays. Like they're trying to sabotage him. No, that's the child support. That's why it's called child support, Umar, if you haven't figured that out. But that's another justification that there are men who justify, okay, I'm not going to pay because it's her money. She should get that money. The child should get the money. Well, it's called child support. Whatever the child needs, if the mama's handling that, you're supposed to be supporting the child, give them money. That's how that works. And then she's supposed to take that money to support the child. But Umar, even in his phraseology, if you will, he's saying it's her. She's going to get her money, meaning the mother. That's not what that's about. But that's another justification that there are men they'll use in order to okay. Well, that's why I don't want to pay because their mama gonna use the money. Okay, yeah, I'm sure that happens too. But what about the mama and the money that she used to take care of the child when you don't support? And then you finally get called into court and then you got to pay and then you pay and oh yeah, but she's going to use, but what about all the money that she had to put down in the meantime because as a deadbeat, you didn't want to support the child. Anyway, I'm going on and on. Listen, I know that there are men, that's a sensitive topic for them, and there's men that get all into their feelings about the shit. Well, listen, bottom line, support your child financially, support and spend time with your child. Other than that, shut the fuck up. If the mama's crazy, okay, that's a separate thing. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to support that child. So money should not even be something that you're whining about. You should be thankful that you have the money to put down on your child. And if you got it, don't whine about it. And if you don't got it, go get it legally. If you care about your child. Okay? And if you don't, if you're like Umar, okay. Do you. Thanks, DB. DB says, like you said, Dr. Umar is a character, not real. Yeah, he's a character. Him getting on this show, getting on there, the hair all dyed up, dressing like a buffoon and a clown and talking and running his mouth and all the hand gestures and all this stuff. This is all part of a character. He ain't nothing but a bum from Philly. All right. Thanks, DB. Okay, let's get back to the main video. Thanks for all the super chats. Oh, there is a poll question too. Make sure you vote on the poll. Has Umar Johnson received enough FDMG donation money to open something by now? Okay, 93% said yes, 7% said no. Now, before we move on, since I'm bringing this up, because I got to change out these batteries anyway, I want to play a video that breaks down the financials. It's about 4 minutes, and this will give me an opportunity to change out this battery and get me something to drink too. Okay, shout out to everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. Make sure you vote on the poll. I appreciate it. Somebody said it. Lenon, you doing the hand gestures too? Yeah, but I don't be doing all this and the Diddy shit. I remember one time I was going, and you don't know what. It's natural to use your hands, but I'm talking about Umar. Everything is. I mean, he be doing. Umar. Remember that don't go chasing waterfall dance. He be doing. I said, Umar, stop. Anyway. Thanks, Tiffany Tabbity. Unity Device says Umar Johnson says Jamaica can only prosper when they kick out the Chinese Indians, but Jamaica could have kicked them out already if they wanted. He knows nothing. Well, Umar is his arrogance. He'll go over to because someone had brought this up, and it was a good point. I think this was on Monday, that Umar will go into another country and act as if he knows everything that's going on in that country, everything's happening in that country. And then he will tell those people in that country what they should be doing based upon his level of understanding of what's taking place over in that country. So what I'm getting at is it's an arrogance thing. It's an ego and arrogance. Who does that? So he don't know. He don't know. He may read an article here online or here, but he doesn't know no specifics about anything. That's one thing about Umar. He's a generalist, meaning he generalizes to the extreme. And what's interesting about that is that if you're a scholar, you shouldn't be working in generalizations, but Umar does. Most of the time, he works in generalizations. And when you talk about black people and all this negative talk about black, it's generalized. It's like negative racial stereotypes, it's generalizations. Well, the same thing applies to when he goes to he'll go to Jamaica, he'll go to the UK somewhere, and he'll be talking as if he knows exactly what's going on in that country or in that state for that matter, if he's here in the United States of America, and then he'll tell people who actually live there what they should be doing and what their plan should be. Okay, it's arrogance and ego with this guy. And it doesn't matter if he goes to Jamaica or if he went to China. It doesn't matter. He has that same mentality. His ego is out of control and arrogance. Meanwhile, he don't know nothing. He really don't. He just knows how to run his mouth. Right? Thanks, you 225. Cam became a new member. Thanks so much. Welcome, Cam. I appreciate it. The Rubinite sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sonia says, I don't think Umar ever even likes his kids. I don't think he likes children, period. And I've researched Umar all the way back to when he was born. I researched his daddy. I researched his daddy's daddy. And I researched his daddy's daddy's daddy, Grandpa Cicero. I don't think Umar likes children, period. They're a nuisance to him. He doesn't know how to talk to. We're going to get into that tomorrow because I got a video with Umar. He's talking in front. But you guys, there's something in that I want to. I'm not even going to. I'm going to say I want you guys to see if you catch it. He don't like children. He don't know how to talk to children. That's the thing. Umar's never been a teacher, even though he says he talks as if he's a teacher. He says he's one time he said he's a master educator. I said, what? What you talking about? He ain't never taught no classroom. He's never been a teacher. He don't have any certifications to be a teacher. But Somehow there's people, I guess the Umar Johnson followers, who think that like he's serious about wanting to help children and he's going to open up a school to educate children. How's that going? You guys do realize that it's been 7.5 years. Very quickly here, it's going to be 8 years since he acquired these abandoned buildings. And the school was supposed to open back in 2013. We're getting close to the end of 2026. It's coming around the corner. Umar don't like no children. He don't like being around children. He don't know how to talk to children. And truth be told, he ain't got no business being around children. Because I have video evidence that proves that he's a voyeur. It's called voyeurism. And it's not just towards older women or middle-aged women or younger women. It's also towards little girls. When he was doing those college tours with these, and he had these, it looked like something 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 graders. He can't even see his own children by himself alone. What does that tell y'all? So for him, they are just an inconvenience caused by his promiscuous lifestyle. You care, you support them. Yeah, absolutely. If you care, you support your children. That's what I'm saying. When I hear men whine and complain about this shit, listen, you laid down, you got up in there, and I would assume that you got up in there and a raw dog, unless the condom broke. And if that happened, well, that happens. Okay, you got to deal with the consequences one way or the other. But when you was up in there skeeting, you wasn't complaining about nothing. So when the baby come, you want to complain about it now? That's not how life works. You got to deal with your situation and circumstance and step up to the plate as a man. It's that simple. If you don't have the money, well, then make more money legally. You can do it. If you're on the internet wasting time, then you got time to go get a second or a third job or whatever the fuck you need to do in order to get some more money to put on your children. It's that simple. Now, like I said before, if you got problems with the baby mama, that's something separate. But you the one that laid down in and gotten in them skins. Shouldn't have laid down with it. That's all I always told these young men. Look, take your time, find you a good woman. I know it's difficult too, because you want to get up in there. I get it. Trust me, I got 5 kids. You can't tell me nothing about that. But I also wasn't out there just running through all these women. I didn't live like that because I already knew consequences. You guys realize, like, in my life, most 99%, I'm just talking financially, 99% of the income that I bring in is not going towards me. And the money that goes towards me, I'm usually trying to do stuff to upgrade equipment and stuff, but I rarely do that. But I do it every once in a while. But do I complain about having to put, when my child asks, listen, I need this? No, I don't complain about that. I'm thankful, because I've been in the position back in the day when we used to go to the dollar store to get gifts for our children when they were like toddlers and young. You should be thankful that you can put money down on your children. And if you can't, go make some more money legally and and see what happens. See how you start to feel, as opposed to, I don't want to have to do this, and the baby mama is doing this and it's hard. I don't want to hear that shit. You either step up to the plate or don't. And if you don't do it, don't complain about it. It's just not the manly thing to do. And in Umar's case, he don't even deal with his children, and he's always complaining about child support. But whose fault is it that Umar has at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone? Anyway, listen, listen, people, we can make excuses all day, but at the end of the day, children need their father, period. And either you're going to step up or you're not. And if you're not, I don't want to hear you crying about shit and whining. Anyway, thank you, Sonia. Real quick, before I go on, and I'm coming right back to you, but I got to change out this battery. It's about to go out. Let me, just for dealing with the financials, because the poll question, has Umar Johnson received enough FDMG donation money to open something by now? 92% said yes, 7% no. Let me play this. So I got to do a couple of things. I got to give me something to drink, and I got to change out these batteries. Let me play this for you guys. I think this is the updated version from July 6th of 2026. Okay, I'll be right back.
A lot of people were kind of saying this is never going to happen. He's stealing the money.
A couple of weeks ago, my lawyers presented St. Paul's realty company with the lease to own option. So far, we raised about $230,000. So far, we raised about $230,000. So far, we raised about $230,000.
A donation to GoFundMe.com, please make that donation. Make that donation, brothers and sisters. Get us that school. $500,000 in a year, I'm thankful, I'm humbled, I'm proud that y'all gave me that. $500,000 in a year, I'm thankful, I'm humbled, I'm proud that y'all gave me that. And some of my contemporaries are jealous of the fact that y'all helped me raise $700,000 so far. So let me tell you what I plan on doing. When we cross the $1 million mark, probably around the end of the summer. When we cross the $1 million mark, probably around the end of the summer. So you guys know I've been raising money for this initiative for about 2 years. We've raised over $700,000 in that amount of time. We'll probably be crossing a million, by New Year's. We'll probably be crossing a million, by New Year's.
So how much money was raised? What the people gave? All kinds of people gave. How much was raised, and what's the status of that?
$700,000.
How much was raised, and what's the status of that?
$700,000. So now what we're doing with the money we've raised, which is approximately $700,000.
As of today.
As of today.
Okay.
Which is to say, I could put the school in Little Rock, Arkansas, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as much as I would put it in Detroit or Atlanta, because it's about what do we get for the money that we have.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm looking at, facilities over locations. So it's not about loyalty to one city. It's about loyalty to the best possible opportunity we can give our children with the $700,000 that the people have given me.
I finally walk into the school, get to see it. I say, this is definitely the place we want to be because it's only 40 minutes from Philly. Delaware is our backyard. It's like Oshawa to Toronto, right?
Okay.
But they wanted $2 million, the same price as St. Paul's. I said, here we go with another $2 million. I stayed at them. 18 months later, I called them up. I say, listen, nobody's buying that school. People breaking into it. Give me the damn school. We got $400K.
Wow.
And he said, okay.
Wow.
I said, really? He said, bring us the money. I brought him the money. The school was ours on February the 7th of 2019. Nobody's buying that school. People breaking into it. Give me the damn school. We got $400K. I bugged them for a year and a half. Bugged them. And then finally in February of 2019, they said, give us what you got. You can have the school.
Give us what you got is crazy.
Which is the $500,000. You feel me? That's what we paid for it.
Okay, so here's a bar graph of a timeline, FDMG donation timeline. That's diabolical. That's from and that's just from 2014 through 2019. So, like I said, the question is, has Umar Johnson received enough FDMG donation money to open something by now? Well, what it shows here is that by 2016, to the end of 2016, 2017, he was already at $1 million. That's enough to get started with something. Somewhere. And we're not counting all of the money that he raised since 2017. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And now we're into, yes, it's like about a decade more of collecting donations. But just in about 2.5 years, he was at $1 million. And then you got a decade more. And he hasn't started a school yet. So make sure you vote on the poll. Just diabolical. Okay. What's up, D. Will? Says Umar gets his fact from Facebook and IG posts, things you can't verify. That's why he doesn't give resources for anything he says. Yeah. In fact, in his books, there's no source material. He doesn't source anybody. He just comes up and he just makes up anything. It's just opinion based. And that's fine too. But if you're a scholar, you need to cite your sources. Umar doesn't do that because he just comes up with whatever he wants to fit a narrative. Okay. And there's been so many times during these live streams over the years where we fact check Umar and we could just go on to Google and he's lying. He's making up stuff. Now, there are times where he's, and it's very rare, but because I'm fair, it's very rare, but there are times where he'll give statistics and they're factual. Okay. We can research it and check and okay. But the thing is that whatever statistics he provides or whatever he comes up with, he doesn't source anybody. He just says it. And that's a problem because he's supposed to be a scholar. Yeah. Umar's dangerous. He said a lot of things. Even when he talks about children in the public education system, and he's talking about special education, and he's talking about the school to prison pipeline, he's talking about medication and mental diagnoses and all this stuff. He doesn't have any source material for that. But he's supposed to be a scholar. You don't go look on Google and say, do scholars, do they source material? It's a requirement. You can't get away with that in high school if you wrote a paper. You can't get away with it as an undergraduate. You can't get away with it as a graduate. And you most definitely ain't gonna get away with it for a PhD or a PsyD. But Umar, my goodness, he's written 2 books and there's no source material whatsoever. But he comes up with whatever he needs to fit narratives. All right, thanks, D-Will. U225 says, Twelve Tunde, top 3 worst Umar Johnson's video we need to watch. The SETI rant. I'm not going to say the toilet video, though, because that was gross. The SETI rant, the Zora rant, and I'm going to go with the Pajama Mama rant. I think those 3. That's tough though, because also when he was going in on his baby mamas last year he's sitting in mama closet with the belts. If we combine those 2 videos, I think that would probably get the 3rd spot. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, chat me. Let me know. For sure, SETI rant and the Zora rant. I got to put that in the top 3 right there. But the 3rd one, the Pajama Mama rant could go there. But I also think those videos from last year or the fish tank rant. Michael said the SETI rant was awesome. I don't know if awesome is the right word to use though, bro. I just gotta say, oh yeah, Lord Jamar. Yeah, I think, yeah, you got it. That's it. Yeah, I think Lord Jamar in the 3rd spot. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, he was talking real reckless about me in that one. He said I was a PDF. He said I was gay and I was a PDF. Yeah, I would go with the SETI rant, the Zora rant, and the Lord Jamar interview. Michael said, and the fish tank, I know, I don't. I guess I could take out the Zora rant and put in fish tank. So I'm going to go with SETI, fish tank, these titles. SETI, fish tank, and the Lord Jamar, those 3. Again, that 3rd, oh man, the Kobe rant. Okay, I got to go SETI, the Kobe Bryant rant. Yeah, it's tough. That 3rd one is too tough. Lord Jamar. I'm going to go with that. But that fish tank, boy, that's pushing it. And that Zora rant. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's easier if we did a top 5. Everybody's saying the fish. Everybody's saying the fish tank. All right. I have a version of the fish tank where I edited stuff out because it's so vulgar. I haven't played it yet. All right. No, I can't. I don't think the toilet rent. I think the toilet rent is just gross. Visually, it's gross. I think what that really sheds light on is Umar's mental instability. So I wouldn't put that in the top 3. I wouldn't even put it in the top 5, but definitely in the top 10. You know, really, I think a top 10 would probably be the best way to look at it, because top 3 is too difficult. Yeah. I'm probably missing some other ones, but the Kobe rant, I can't believe I forgot about them. Yeah. So the princess says, let me think. That toilet didn't deserve that level of disrespect. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the Lord Jamal, but that got to be in the top 3 for sure, because Umar, he went nuts on that one. Yeah, the Steady Rant, Fish Tank, Zor. That's a good list too. Yeah, we should expand it to 5. I think it'll be easier that way. Your favorite is Lord Jamar. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Super Soaker. Yeah. Pulling a woman's nails out, throwing bleach. Oh, yeah, that throwing the bleach, that was horrible. That was recent too. The mice on women. Yeah, he said he's gonna throw a mice on your ass. Yeah, thought his personality. That whole video is horrible. Yeah, I don't think we may have years ago, but that whole video where he's talking, it was just, he was so vulgar in that. Yeah, that has to be in the top 10 for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Tariq Grant. Yeah, I will put Tariq Grant in the top 10. You know what I need to do? Let me just do this right quick. Okay. So in no particular order, let's put 10 together. So if we ever do another marathon, we'll be here for like 12 hours. It'll be a real marathon like we used to do. So I'm gonna put Steady Rant. I'm gonna put the Kobe Rant and Lord Jamar in the top 3. Lord Jamar. And then Fish Tank 4. I think Tariq goes down lower though. I'm gonna put that at 9. Tariq Rant. Toilet. I'm gonna put Toilet at 10. It could be higher, but I'm gonna put Toilet at 10 just because I know it needs to be on here. We're gonna call it the Toilet Rant. That's crazy. What else? There's other ones too. Super Soaker. I'll call that one the Pajama Mama. Pajama Mama Rant. I'm gonna put that at 5. Okay. The Crack Rock. Chuck said the Crack Rock geology fee. Why you say geology? But because you said that, I'm putting that in there. I'll put the Crack Rock on the steps. Crack Rock on the steps. Turn the heat down. Turn the heat down. The heat down video. But really, I wanted to stick with rants. But we'll put that one in there. Why not? Okay, I already put Fish Tank, Zora. Yeah, so that's 10 right there. Not all these are rants though, so we could probably take some of these off. Let me read this back to you guys. This is what I got. I'm gonna type this out and put it on the wall. Yeah, I've edited. I actually have the Fish Tank video edited. Where it's I could play it in because it's so crazy and vulgar. Are there any videos of, how's it going, Bridget? First of all, are there any videos of Umar saying anything positive about children? Huh. That's a good question. I've never thought about that. Okay. In all fairness, if we say, are there any, just to be more specific, are there any videos of Umar saying anything positive about children in general? The answer is no. I'm gonna explain what I mean by this. Are there any videos of Umar saying positive things about Black children in comparison to other children, like white, Asian, whatever? And the answer is yes, because there's times where he said things like, because he gets this from Dr. Joanna Kunjufu, rest in peace, where up to a certain age, Black children perform on the level of other groups of people or higher, but then at a certain point, they fall behind. So on the surface level, in comparison, Umar will he said stuff like that, but that's more like in comparison to other children. So what I mean by general versus particular or more specific, when he's doing like comparatively, he will say something positive, but he also says things negative comparatively. But I've heard him say things positive just to make it, just to prove a point that, or prove his narrative that Black children are better than or more successful than, at least to a certain age, than other groups of people. I've heard him do that. Now, in general, though, does he do that? And the answer is no. I can't think of a video where, in general, Umar is saying something positive about Black children. Now, there may be videos, I just can't think of it. And that's telling in and of itself. Because you guys know how I am. If it's, you guys remember that video when he did that? I say, I remember. Then sometimes I'm like, I don't remember that. But in this specific case, I remember Umar saying something positive when he's spinning a narrative about Black children being better than other groups of people's children, if that makes sense. But in general terms, just saying it generally, no, I can't think of anything. Yeah, Bridget, what I'll do too, because I'm in 2013 in the documentary, moving forward, because this is a great question. Moving forward in the documentary, I'll be looking for this. I'll be looking if Umar says something positive about Black children or about children in a general sense. Yeah, it's fascinating. I've never thought about this all these years. Yeah, but I'll be looking out for it. Yeah, I'm actually intrigued. We'll see. Okay, thanks, Bridget. Okay, let me do these other super chats. Then we're going to get to, and then we'll start winding this down. Okay, thanks, user 225. Oh, let me read this to you guys. So I got SETI rant, Kobe rant, Lord Jamar, Fish Tank rant, Pajama Mama rant, Zora rant, Turn the Heat Down video. That's not really a rant though, so I would probably take that off. This is just dealing with rants. And then Crack Rock, that wasn't a rant either, so I'd have to take those two off of there. Tariq rant and Toilet rant. So I need to find two more rants that would fit in the top 10, but I think that this is a good start. Yeah. All right. Okay, and if you guys think of something that I don't have on the list that's an actual rant that you think should, make sure you post it in the chat room. Okay. Yeah. What's up, Captain Ed? I got the I have the super soaker rant. I call that the Pajama Mama rant because the idea for Umar was that he was going to super soaker the Pajama Mamas. So Umar, he become. Oh, I forgot about the Tariq rant. Yeah, did I put that on there? Yeah, I got that on there. Okay. Shout out Captain Edward. What's up, guys? Little Princess. Okay. Yeah, if there's anything else that I missed on there, I need two more. Go ahead and type it in the chat room. I'll look in here and add it to the list. Okay. In the meantime, let me do these other super chats real quick. Cam says 2 reasons Umar doesn't want to show income. Number one, student loans, probably in the hundreds of thousands. I agree. Yeah, he would be in the hundreds of thousands. And Umar doesn't pay basic bills on time. So something like student loans, knowing how Umar is, he's not fiscally responsible or financially responsible. Who knows how much interest has accrued? Because again, he graduated with his PsyD in 2012. That's 14 years ago. And he spent 20 years in higher education. The last degree I got in cybersecurity, the company paid for it. So, but Umar, he's talked about, taking out student loans. So, and in that case, it's in the hundreds of thousands. Okay. Now, can I say that a statement of fact? No. But based upon what I know about Umar, I'm quite sure that he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. And I highly doubt that he pays them on time. He probably don't even pay them because that's how he is. He don't even pay child support on time. Okay. So yeah, I'm telling you, Umar, he's in a position in life where he has to scam. At least he thinks he has to scam. Because if he went and got a regular job, let me just take that off the table. If Umar could clean up a lot of this stuff financially, because his financial situation, it's been bad for decades. And I'm not just talking about student loans. A lot of people don't know he had tax liens, personal tax liens, crazy amounts of money. Remember last year, he wasn't even paying on basic bills at these trap bandos in Wilmington, Delaware. And the city was going to sell these trap bandos at sheriff's sale, at auction. He ain't even paying those basic bills. He don't pay child support on time. So no, he ain't paying his student loans. But the point I want to make is that based upon what I know about Umar, he probably owes hundreds of thousands of dollars, but he could clear this out. I'm talking about just in child support alone. He could actually turn this around. One of the people I watch is Dave Ramsey. And I watch Dave Ramsey because there's people who call in, they're making a household income $300,000, but they're like $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in debt. I'm like, how do you get to? It's crazy. But he goes through a process of, and he has other hosts, they go through a process of putting together a plan for him of what they need to do in order to clear this debt. Umar, if he just did social, and I keep saying this, if he didn't even have to work a job. If he did social media and he did it the right way, he would have to be consistent. He would have to stop doing rants. He would have to stop talking reckless. He would have to put, it's hard work because there's a lot of work. Because I just don't live stream. Like I have to put videos together. I have to edit stuff down. I got to clean up audio and put clips together and all this kind of stuff. Archive stuff, probably. It's tedious work. But if he did that, Umar could be, let's say if he did it start in January 1st of 2027, by the time he gets to the end of the year of 2027, he would make somewhere around $120,000 to $150,000. He could utilize Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then over the years, let's say over the next 3 years, he just scales it up to where he's 200,000, 250,000. Now, once he gets to 250,000, that's when he can really start chipping away at these other debt that's just been accumulating. See, but then Umar, he has addictions. That's why I said it doesn't matter how much money he makes or how much money people give him, it's never going to be enough. So he has to start with him personally first before he can maximize on profitability dealing with social media. He also needs to learn the technology too. And it's not that complicated, but he's not tech savvy whatsoever. Anyway, the point is that student loans, yeah, it's probably in the hundreds of thousands. And then child support payments. There's no telling how much money just in fees and late fees or whatever else goes into it that he has to pay an extra in addition to his child support. Who knows how much money that is? And who knows what other stuff Umar got going on in his personal financial life, because you're dealing with someone who's a shady individual, who's a scammer. And let's not assume that his only scam is FDMG. I'm talking about right now. That's not his only scam, because he's had other scams too. Remember the Rules of Romance book he's collecting pre-orders for? He had a documentary that was supposed to premiere in 2014. He was collecting donations for that in 2022. And he still hasn't produced that. That's another scam. There's a whole bunch of hosts of other scams that Umar Johnson has. But understand that FDMG in 2026, do you guys really think that that's the only scam he's running? No. And then he associates with other people who are like-minded to a certain degree, like Sister Hanera. I ain't gonna say Sister Hanera. And money, who knows where this money is going? So there's all types of stuff that's going on here. Umar, he would have a lot to clean up in his personal life in the first place to start getting things on track in his financial life. But I don't think it really matters to Umar because he's in survival mode. He's a dope fiend. Dope fiends ain't worried about none of that shit. They just worried about how they're going to get their next money so they can get their next fix. And it's that simple. All right. Thanks, Cam. Dees says children take attention away from him. You're absolutely right about that. And Umar, his core personality is like a child. He's a state of arrested development, and he needs attention and he wants attention. A lot of what Umar does is for attention. Think about real quick. When Umar dresses the way that he does, it's for attention. When Umar dyes his hair, it's for attention. When Umar exaggerates these hand movements and shit, and it's okay to talk, but he's like, he's super Italian. Anyway, the point is, that's all for attention. When he starts to yell and shit and get all animated, that's all for attention. Umar, he's a character. There's a psychological term. I always forget it. I told myself to remember, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I always bring it up and I forget what it is. But that's part of Umar's personality type too. Everything that he does is about getting attention. When he posts stuff, crazy stuff on his Instagram page, it's about getting attention. When he defends P. Diddy, it's attention. When he defends Bill Cosby, it's for attention. When he defends R. Kelly, it's for attention. And Umar knows that. What he does is he takes the position that most people wouldn't take, not because he believes in that position, but because he knows that it's controversial, and controversy is going to bring him attention. Yeah, Umar, he's so attention seeking, it's crazy. Yeah, peacocking. Yeah, that's the word used in 225. Umar, he suffers with histrionics. Cheyenne Bryant's the same way. Okay, we'll do part 3 for members only tomorrow. I'll schedule after this live stream. She's the same way. They have to get attention. Umar didn't get enough. Evidently, he didn't get enough attention when he was a child. He also was shipped away at a relatively early age to a boarding school, so he was separated from the family. And he has enmeshment issues with his mama. So there's that aspect too. He didn't get the attention that he wanted. He definitely didn't get the right attention from his daddy. One time Umar said, "I don't know how to work with my hands." And his daddy was in the military. He was an auto mechanic. You have to know how to work with your hands when you're doing auto mechanic stuff. I used to do that. I stopped doing it because I'm too old for it. But I should fix stuff myself. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I enjoy it. I like that kind of stuff. You know, I would buy the manual for the vehicle and I would just look through it. Like I'm like a geek, and I would read through stuff. And then if something break down, I would troubleshoot it and go through the manual and figure out what the problem was. And I had a code reader. I would use that too. And then I would figure out what needs to be replaced, whatever. And then I'll go on to YouTube and look up how that repair takes place. And then I'll get the parts that I need and make sure I have the tools, and I would do it. Okay, did my daddy teach me that? No, he wasn't around. See, but Umar, he's attention seeking, and everything that he does is to get attention. When he dresses crazy, it's to get attention. And when he was over in Africa last year, he was dressed in military fatigues. That's just to get attention. Okay. And so children, they desire attention, and if they're getting attention, Umar, he's gonna feel some sort of way about that, because he always wants to be the center of the attention, center of everything. Tomorrow, I'll give you guys an example of that when he was talking in front of children. You guys will see he has to be at the center of everything. His daddy was the same way. Real quick, I'm gonna tell you how I know that about his daddy, because there were times where his daddy would do he would march. Okay, and I'm not talking about when he would do a march for him by himself, because he used to do that too. But he would march with a group of people, and he would always position himself at the front. Okay, it's not even his event. Sound familiar? It's not even his event, but he would get in the front. And if he can get a hold of a megaphone, then he'll be at the front with the megaphone. He'll be walking with the people who put the event together. Okay, and Umar is the same way. He always has to be the center of attention, and he always has to be front stage and center. Okay, all right, if that makes sense, front stage. Thank you, D, for the super chat. The Rubinite says, Dr. Ifa Hammer Tunda Kente. Ifa Hammer. What in the world? Ifa Hammer Tunda Kente. I gotta write that down. Ifa Hammer Tunda Kente. Okay. Yeah. Because there's gonna be other times he's gonna dress like this, I guarantee you. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you all super chats, everybody. Cam also says Umar Johnson is probably in deferment with his student loans because of the income he reports. That's interesting. Yeah, it's possible, but how long would they defer? See, there has to be because he can't say that he can't work. See, I don't know. I don't know. They wouldn't defer forever. This guy, he hasn't worked consistently since 2010. We're talking 15 years. I do have him working for about 3 months as a principal. But outside of that, and again, he's collecting millions of dollars for this FDMG project, but on his IRS paperwork, he's not reporting that he's receiving any money, that he's paying himself. He's not reporting that. In other words, he's he's working, and he says 60 hours a week at FDMG, but he's not paying himself through this nonprofit. It's all volunteer work. That's what it is. A lie. He ain't spending 60 hours a week. That's crazy. Did he say 60 or was it 40? Even 40 is, he's traveling all over the world. But I thought he said 60. So on paper, no, he's not working anywhere. So maybe he's in deferment because he's not working. But I don't know how long you can do that. Could you do that indefinitely? I don't know. But even if you're in deferment, you know, you still got you got to deal with it at some point, but he don't handle no basic business anyway. Yeah, Deshaun said it's 60 hours. Sweet D says 60 hours each. Yeah, he reports to the IRS that he spends 60 hours a week working at, was it 60 hours a month or 60 hours a week? I got to go back because that's so ridiculous. Did he say 60 hours a week or 60 hours a month? Even 60 hours a month. He ain't spending those 60 hours a month doing nothing but smoking crazy stuff. Stop. Yeah, okay. It's so 240 hours a month. So 60 hours a week. That's so ridiculous. This guy, he's such a scammer. He lied to the IRS and blatantly, he don't care. Anyway, this is interesting. I don't know how long he would be able to hold that out though, because you can't defer forever. Goodness gracious. He don't care though. I'm sure he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. Okay, thanks, Cam. UG5 said, Lenon, are you bald or is it just CGI for the stream? No, I'm bald, and I'm not all the way bald because I do have little hair on the sides and stuff, but up here it's gone. It started receding back when I was 19. You know, just a little bit. But I noticed, I said, oh man, damn, I didn't know it was gonna get to this point. But I don't care. I'm already married. You know, even if I wasn't, I'm sexy with mine. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? All right. Thanks, user 225. Cracks, no, Naram. What are you talking about? This guy don't stop. He do not stop. Cracks, no, Naram. All right. Chola Tuna is the one video we've never rewatched. No, we have. I pulled it up, but I don't think we ever sat through with the whole thing. I can't. Okay, I just can't do it. And people get grossed out, and I feel bad, especially for the ladies. All right. Okay, thanks, user 225. Baba Hogan says Sadie Rent is off the wall. Toilet Tuna is Thriller. Oh, man. That's crazy. That is crazy, Baba Hogan. He said the Sadie Rand is off the wall. Toilet Tune Day is Thriller. Oh, man. That is crazy. Wow. All right. Thank you for that super chat. What's up, Truck Talk? Says Al Sharpton. All right. All right. Hope you're doing all right, Truck Talk. Okay, I'm almost down. We got to start winding this down. I'm supposed to do a short show. Deshaun says, God forbid, but what would happen to the Bandos if he passes away? That's a good question, too. But I shouldn't phrase it that way. It's a hypothetical that should be considered. That's the thing. That's one of the problems with Umar is that because he hasn't built any networks or relationships that let's take out him passing. Well, let's say if Umar was incapacitated to some degree. Well, let's just say if he's arrested. Let's just say that, okay? Because I don't want to put that out there. Okay, but I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to, let's say that Umar gets arrested and he goes to jail and then he goes to prison for 3 years for tax evasion and money laundering. Okay. What happens to the Bandos? Well, Umar doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a board of directors. The project doesn't live beyond his control, meaning that because he's a megalomaniac and he's in control of everything, including the finances, that the project becomes directionless and rudderless if Umar is facing if he's in jail or if he's in prison. So what would happen with the properties is a good question, because it's under a nonprofit. I would think, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Because it's under a nonprofit. Let me Google this. Yeah, you guys have been bringing some real fascinating questions tonight. Hold on one second. So what happens to a building that is part of a nonprofit after, let's say, what would Umar be called? I don't know what his legal, what would Umar's legal position be under this nonprofit? Anybody know? Yeah, Michael, that's what I was thinking, that it would go back to the city. You know, because he got bills that are associated. Yeah, taxes take it back. Yeah, I don't know. As the arbitrator, maybe. Part of after the arbitrator. Chairman, maybe CEO. I thought CEO. That's what I thought. So what it says is nothing happens to the building itself as ownership remains securely held by the nonprofit corporation. An arbitrator is a new. Okay, but that would be a neutral. So let's see. Let's see. Building that is part of a nonprofit. What happens after the? And there is no one on the board of directors. Let's just be more specific. The organization enters a legal vacuum where the state attorney general must step in to oversee the building and remaining assets. So the immediate legal status, so this is interesting. Immediate legal status of the building, no personal inheritance. The building does not go to the CEO's family or heirs. I just use CEO because the nonprofit corporation owns the property, not the individual. This is really interesting. Stalled operations. No one has the legal authority to sell, lease, or mortgage the building, sign contracts, or pay utility bills from the organization's accounts. Wow. Orphaned asset. The building becomes an abandoned corporate asset belonging to a legally incapacitated entity. And then the state attorney general intervention. The state attorney general holds a legal duty to protect charitable assets for the public. Court petition an interested party like a creditor. A former board member, but he doesn't have board members, or an executor of the CEO's estate. I wonder if he has an executor. Who would that be? Most must notify the attorney general of, or petition petition a court. Appointing a receiver. A judge can appoint a receiver or a trustee to manage the emergency affairs of the nonprofit. But that's the thing is, the nonprofit is just Umar. So this really doesn't apply. Final outcome for the property, dissolution and transfer. The state appointed supervisor will wind down the nonprofit and pay off any debts or mortgages tied to the building. Charitable distribution. Under tax law, the building or the proceeds from selling it cannot be given to individuals. Wow. It must be transferred to another active 501c3 nonprofit organization or a government entity with a similar mission. Okay, and then of course it depends on what state it's registered in, etc. Are there any outstanding debts or mortgages on it? But now we do know that there's always going to be outstanding debt because Umar doesn't pay bills on time. This is fascinating, Deshaun. Yeah, I will say this though: this FDMG project it doesn't exist anyway. There is no school. But if Umar, let's say if he goes to prison for tax evasion and money laundering, the project stops there. It will stop there. Okay, and it hadn't even begun in the first place, if that makes sense. Okay, not one black child been educated. Yeah, you guys got some real good questions coming through during this live stream, stuff I haven't even thought about. Fascinating. Thank you. Okay, and then D. Will says, Lenon, speaking of center of attention, can you play when Queen Mother punked him on stage? Yeah. this is another example of Umar. He has to be the center of attention. And tomorrow I have another example. When he's talking in front of these kids, there's another example of that too. But let's go to the video of, and we'll be here for another 15 minutes, okay? Let's go to Queen Mother. And while I'm pulling this up, just to give a backdrop, a background on this, this is from 2022, June 10th of 2022. Umar was there was an event held by Queen Mother, and they had different speakers. They had vendors and all this stuff. She's highly educated, certifications and all this kind of stuff. She's big time, and she's elderly. And she has this event, and there is an organization that's there that has a table, like a vending booth, and Umar is not on the schedule to speak. In fact, Queen Mother didn't even know who Umar was. But in true Umar fashion, he has to find a way to finagle and get himself so he can bum rush the stage. And he went through the organization. I can't remember. I think it was something Africa, something, the organization. They were the ones that got Umar up on stage to speak. And he keeps running his mouth and running his mouth. And they're trying to get him off of the stage, but he keeps running his mouth and running his mouth. And then finally, Queen Mother steps up to the plate and calls Umar out and gets him off of the stage. But gets him off the stage. He's done this before, though. Breonna Taylor, that particular event, they had a rally. He's not a key, but he says stuff like he's a keynote. He's not even supposed to be speaking. He just because he's always on vacation. He'll go to these events and he figures out ways to get on stage to run his mouth. And sometimes they'll give him 5 minutes or give him 10 minutes. He'll talk for 20 or 30. He always has to be the center of attention. And then he says the most requested. No, he's a bum from Philly that goes to, like a hobo, a black conscious hobo. He goes from city to city, state to state to try to find places where he can speak. And he's not listed on anything. Okay. Now, again, there are times where he's listed to speak. I'm talking about there are situations and circumstances or events where he's not even recognized by the people who put the event together. They don't even know he's coming. But he finds a way to get on stage because he has to be the center of attention. And this is an excellent example of it right here. Here we go.
North Carolina, who didn't know what to do about autism, didn't know what to do about speech and language impairment, didn't know what to do about intellectual disability, didn't know what to do about the reading disability, didn't know what to do about ADHD, didn't know what to do about conduct disorder, didn't know what to do about oppositional defiant disorder. So let me give you my 10 tips. I hope you're listening, because no other psychologist will give you this truth about your child.
Okay, I'm gonna skip through because he runs his mouth. And at a certain point, the brother with the white on and the dreads, he tries to get Umar off of the stage, or he's supposed to be getting Umar off of the stage. He doesn't do a good job at it. And Umar keeps running his mouth. Now they're 15 minutes in. And then there's another woman that comes over, 16 minutes in, 17, 8. This woman over here, okay. Umar keeps running his mouth, 20 minutes in. And then here comes Queen Mother. So at the 21-minute mark, okay, Umar's not scheduled to speak, and Queen Mother doesn't even know who he is. Let's take a look right here.
New book, Black Parent Advocate. I have them for sale. Credit card, cash, or CashApp. It is the only book in print that.
See, she told, give it to me, talking about the microphone, because the brother right here didn't step up to the plate. You got to handle the business, bro. This elder shouldn't have to come up here to G-check Umar. I would have told him to get the fuck off the stage. Y'all think I'm playing? He's not supposed to be up there. She didn't. The Queen Mother didn't sanction that. He just show up, and I would have embarrassed him too. And everybody, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Y'all think I'm playing? Boy, I sure would have.
It teaches you.
They should have cut his mic. That's what they should have did.
How to save your child from special ed abuse and ADHD abuse. Let me give you my phone number, and I want to leave with a quote. Take your phone.
See, if you hear in the background, the Queen Mother says, what is his name? She don't even know who he is. This is her event. Listen again.
My phone number, and I want to leave with a quote. Take your phone out.
Y'all hear it, hit the one. She says, what is his name? One more time.
It is the only book in print that teaches you how to save your child from special ed abuse and ADHD abuse. Let me give you my phone number, and I want to leave with a quote. Take your phone out if you are a parent, so you can reach me if you need me. I will give you my phone number 3 times. Twice for the regular ed parents and once for the special ed parents. 215-989-9858. I repeat, 215-989-9858. Once more, 215-989-9858. If you need a personal consultation for me to go over your child's IEP, go over your child's behavior plan, go over your child's intervention program, go over your child's psychological evaluation report,
his mouth.
you can text me on that number and we will schedule.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So much. No. We all finished here today.
We finished today.
We are going to thank Dr.
Queen Mother, I got to give my quote from Frederick Douglass.
Go right ahead with Frederick Douglass. I'm sure that he would love to be quoted.
Now, watch what Umar do.
All right.
Thank you so much. Go right ahead.
All right. Don't disrespect me, Queen Mother.
No disrespect.
See? This is not his event. This is her event. He's disrespectful by running his mouth this month for 20 minutes. He's not even supposed to be on the stage. But watch what he does.
All right.
No disrespect.
Don't do that now, because I respect you as an elder.
We're calling on the ancestors to be here with us today.
Let's be respectful.
Go right ahead.
Frederick Douglass said.
Okay, notice he's not talking to the audience anymore. He starts to talk at her and yell at her. This is an act of intimidation, but she does not back down. She's more of a man. No disrespect to the ladies. She's more of a man than Umar is. He's sissified. He's a punk for even going at her like this. He doesn't back down. He's belligerent. There's a term for this too, for children, like he's oppositionally defiant. You guys know what I'm talking about? Am I saying that right? Yeah, oppositional defiant disorder. A behavior condition marked by a persistent pattern of angry moods, argumentative behavior, and defiance towards authority figures lasting at least 6 months. He's always like that. Like he had problems in the UNIA. Yeah, he's defiant.
If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess the faith of deprecation, but are afraid of the crops, are like...
Are afraid of the crops. Wait a minute. What? What crops? People afraid of corn? Is anyone in here? Is anyone in here afraid of corn? I'm being petty. Some people, I guess there has to be. Some people afraid of corn. Some people afraid of wheat. Some people afraid of baking soda. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't think of no other crops. That's bad. I said baking soda. I'm so stupid. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. Yeah, beets. We'll go with beets. That's cool. Some people are afraid of beets. I like beets. Beets is good. Clean the blood. Clean the blood out. Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah, collards. Got collard greens. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of that. Lynn, don't start. Cabbages. Some people afraid of cabbages. I know I'm afraid of cabbages. Cabbage give you gas. Let me stop. Yeah, beets is good. I love me some beets. They're just too expensive. Okay. Rutabagas. Somebody said, stop playing, Joshua. Chicken feet is not crops. Stop. Green beans. Artichokes. I like artichokes too, but they're expensive as well. Potato. Okay. Some people afraid of potato. Umar, he ain't afraid of potato. He got potato in my closet. Okay, let's keep going. Somebody said chitlins. Stop. What you talking about? I got 5 kids. What you think? No, shark fin is not a crop using 225. They be eating some shark fin. They will eat some shark fin. That's okay. Go and eat that shark fin. I don't understand. Even if I ate meat, I wouldn't eat no shark fin. Because isn't it like it's not meat, isn't it cartilage or something? Why would it be eating cartilage? Anyway, I don't know. Okay, let's
people who want to eat, but they don't want to grow their own food. Frederick Douglass said, for 20 years I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave me no freedom until I got up off my knees and started praying with my feet. Frederick Douglass said, if you want respect.
Okay, now you see how he's yelling at her? He's upset. He's mad. He does not like to be challenged, especially by women, and he's oppositionally defiant.
From white folks, don't look for pity, because the man who pities you will never respect you, and the man who
yeah, she ain't backing down. She a real one. She a PhD, and I think she has a PhD or something. She's like has all these degrees and certifications, but you can tell how she talks. She don't play no games. And Umar's big goofy ass sitting up here throwing. This is him throwing a tantrum.
Respects you has no need for pity.
Yeah, he's yelling at her, but the thing is, look, the thing is that he's supposed to be talking to the audience, but he directs all this at her because as an act of intimidation. And she ain't scared of him. No, she is, and I could tell. I could tell when she walked up to him. She don't play no games. Okay, and she's probably real cool and real peaceful too. But you mess up, she ain't playing. My uncle's I'm like that too though. But my mom is like that. I have a sister who's like that. Okay, real cool, real laid back. But you get to run in your mouth and it's a whole nother thing. Okay. All right, let's go.
Frederick Douglass said,
see him yelling?
If black people want to be free, then we ourselves must strike the first blow. He said we may have to pay for that freedom, Queen Mother, with our blood, with our sweat, with our struggle, and without work. But he said the greatest threat to the independence of black people
he keep running his mouth, but watch what happens at the end, big old baby.
Is Negroes who want to take money from white folks instead of paying for their own future.
Hallelujah. Black power. Black power. We want to thank Dr. Johnson for.
See how he runs off the stage? He's a coward too, by the way. He's a coward. He's upset, and he runs off of the stage like a little toddler who just threw a tantrum. Look at
being here with us today, for bringing on the ancestors. And we certainly thank the House of Africa for bringing on Dr. Johnson here with us today.
So it's called the House of Africa, and she's making the distinction because she doesn't want to have any affiliation with Umar. So she's making it plain that, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with having him here because he wasn't scheduled to be there.
Certainly, truly thank you, Dr. Johnson, for.
Yeah, MSN, MHA, BSN, RN, Director of Health Equity at Novant Health. Okay, she's big time.
For your rendition of life.
Rendition of life, yeah. Okay, so that's just there's so many other examples of because he has to be the center of attention. So thanks, D. I'm going to give you guys one other example too. Okay, I know I said we're going to be up out of here, but I'll do it real quick. And then we'll finish up with the other. We still got about 7 more minutes on the other video. But this video right here is from 2023. And this was another event where Umar was not a scheduled speaker. And this was a rally for Breonna Taylor.
Give it up for Dr. Umar Johnson.
Okay, I'm going to skip through, but let's keep the timeline together here. So Umar starts talking. Here's 2 minutes. Here's 3 minutes. Here's 4 minutes. Here's 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7. And right here, there's in the back, there's a lady with the green right here. See, they gave Umar 5 minutes to talk because now we're at the 7-minute mark right here. And this lady at the green, I'll let it play right here. You guys see what I'm talking about.
If a public official cannot protect the constitutional rights of all people, then the federal government has a right to come in and make them do it the right way. I submit that Attorney General.
Yeah, so you see how she has the wipes to wipe the microphone off because they gave him 5 minutes. It's 7 minutes. Okay, I'm going to skip through. And this lady, she's trying to get him off the stage, the lady in green, but he keeps running his mouth. And then they have someone come up to try to get him off of the stage, but he keeps running his mouth. I'll let it play right here. This lady right here is trying to get him off, but I'll let it play right here and see what happens. Watch this. I'll be right back.
Uniform. Did you know that all 3 of Breonna's assassins had a record of police misconduct? And did you know that one of them had more than 100 pages of allegations and records of police brutality and excessive force? So even if you thought a search warrant was necessary, them 3 damn devils wasn't the ones to carry it out. I want to wrap this up, but I want to say this to newly elected President Joe Biden. And I want to say this to newly elected Vice President Kamala Harris. For the last year, don't tell me to be nice. I'm unapologetically African. Don't ever tell Dr. Umar what to say out of his goddamn mouth. I'll say what I want to say, where I want to say it, and how it needs to be said. Like I said, President Biden and Vice President Harris, you've been in office for 60 days. And every time I wake up and turn on the news, I don't hear nothing about Breonna Taylor. I don't hear nothing about Ahmaud Arbery. I don't hear nothing about Sandra Bland. I don't hear nothing about all the black people who were murdered at the hands of police. Now, President Biden, you told black America that if we stand with you, you will stand with us. Kamala Harris, you told black people that if we show up on election day, you'll show up for us. Well, it's been 60 days and neither one of you have showed up in Louisville, Kentucky. President Biden, Kamala Harris, you are Democrats. The governor of Kentucky, a Democrat. The mayor of Louisville, a Democrat. And I'm going to say this here. I don't know who told the Democratic Party that they own the black vote. I don't know who told the Democratic Party that black America are your field Negroes. I don't know who told the Democratic Party that you can beg us for votes and not deliver when the time is right. So, with that being said, Governor Beshear, you will be a one-term governor if those 3 killers ain't locked up soon. President Biden, you will be a one-term president if Breonna's 3 killers ain't locked up soon. Kamala Harris, You would be the first woman president in American history. All power to you. Good luck. But if those 3 men who killed Breonna Taylor ain't locked up soon, your ass will not be going to the Oval Office. Yes, we came here today to mourn. 2 minutes, I'll be done. I heard the black bourgeoisie is in full force out of here today. So let me say something to you bootlicking ass uppity Negroes who don't like to fight for the people.
There he go. But watch what happens. Watch what happens. Here we go.
People on the bottom. Not all pastors, but most of them. Not all politicians, but most of them. Not all scholars, but most of them. How big? I need some water. Don't give me no CIA water. And don't give me no FBI water. You sure this ain't the FBI's water? Black power. I said black power. I said black power. Brothers and sisters. We came here today. Yes, Brianna's spirit. But I'ma say this in my low voice.
No, it's not a low voice. Your voice is gone, sir. See, this is the thing about Umar. He has to be the center of attention. He's not even supposed to be speaking here. Okay. They give him 5 minutes though, but he runs his mouth. He runs his mouth for 17 minutes, and he has to be the center of attention. He has no self-awareness. Even though he's lost his voice, he doesn't wind this down. He keeps talking. 18, 19, 20 minutes, 21 minutes. And then he starts telling the story about his relationship to Frederick Douglass. This guy, look, watch this.
From Yoruba land or Igbo land, Nigeria. He was a black man by
You sound like a Sith Lord.
the name of Bailey, enslaved in Talbot County, Eastern Shore, Maryland. He married a black woman, Grandma Selah. In 1745, they had Grandma Jenny. And in 1774, Grandma Jenny had...
See the lady behind him? She's disgusted because he's been trying to get him off the stage for like, what, 12 minutes now? But he keeps running his mouth.
Barely at the age of 20, Cousin Fred ran away, and he changed his name from Fred Bailey to Fred Douglass. In 1819, 1 year after Frederick was born, my grandmother Betsy gave birth to his first cousin and half-brother, my 4 times great-grandfather, Stephen Henry Bailey. They were brothers because the slave master was daddy, but they were cousins because the slave master raped both mothers. It's going to turn on.
See how they keep trying to get him off? They told him they're gonna turn the microphone off.
So let me go with the quote we got to watch. All right. Frederick Douglass said, mothers. It's going to turn on. So let me go with the quote we got to watch. All right.
See that? He tell me gonna turn off the microphone.
Frederick
He keep running his mouth.
If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess the faith of freedom.
Yeah, no self-awareness. He just got off. It's okay, but see, he has to be the center of attention.
And deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without blowing up the ground. They want.
I thought you said they're afraid of the crowd.
But can't stand the thunder or the lightning. They want the ocean, but they're scared of the awful roar of the water. He said for 20 years, I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave Frederick no freedom until I got up off my knees and started praying with my feet. He said if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who will not fight for their own freedom have no right to be fought for by others. Louisville, Kentucky, I love you. Say her name.
All right. Just another example, and there's plenty of more. Okay, let's wind this down. Thank you guys. And thanks, D. Will, for the super chat. Timothy says, Umar Johnson is past 50 years old. His health will start falling apart on him. It already has. Yeah, going back years ago. Yeah, my doctor, well, I'm telling you guys, had to change my diet. I still got to lose weight. I'm supposed to be exercising. I just haven't had the time. But there's a whole list of things that I have to start doing. You know, I'm 50. I'm about to be 51. Yeah. But Umar, I remember years ago, he was struggling with different health issues. And then recently, when he was doing the Predator Protocol, there was a woman who did herbs and stuff. She was a vendor. And Umar, she was talking about the types of herbs that she would put together, as like in tea, I think, something like that, like as a tea. I don't know what they call that. Okay. And Umar says, yeah, maybe you can something. I'm paraphrasing. You should make one for me. She's like, for what? And he ran off a list. I can't remember everything he said. He says something about for prostate. Anybody remember what else he said? But that right there is revealing, because that's Umar. He's projecting. He's talking about what he's struggling with, and that's what he needs to teach. I don't think he meant to do it. Umar, he's like that. I don't think he meant to disclose that information. But clearly, he's been dealing with some health issues. Yeah. So his health will start falling apart on him. It will be over for him at that point. He has no family support. He's set to fail. Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why, Timothy, I've tried my best. You know, I know we clown Umar too, but I've tried my best to give him advice in my own way, and then corrective measures that he can take, because at the age of 52, and we talked about this. Yeah, he said prostate and bladder and something else, though. I can't remember what the other thing was. What's up, information, man? And the bladder thing too, because Lenon talked about that about Umar, how he has to use the bathroom, like he has to go like quick, and it reminds me of. I put it together because you guys remember when Umar would be live streaming, and he'll say, "I got to go use the bathroom," and it's almost as if, because normally if at least for men, you guys know how it is. If you can, it's coming on, like, okay, I got to use the bathroom soon, and you can wait, right? There's been times you have to wait for a couple of hours, right? But you normally know. You have an idea, okay, I got some time. But with Umar, it's not like that. Okay, all of a sudden he'll realize it, and then he got to go use the bathroom. There's times where he's live streaming, and he does that, and he goes and he doesn't stop the live stream or anything like that. He goes use the bathroom, and you can hear him using the bathroom, and he comes back out. He don't wash his hands. Anyway, that's a separate issue. I just want us to be clear about that. That when he said bladder, that makes sense to me. And then Lenon had some comments to say about that too, which when I put it together, I realized that. So he's had health issues, and as we get older, we all do, you know. Umar, he's in a very precarious situation, because it's not like when he's 52. Let's say when he's 60, I'm just throwing this as a number out there, which is, because think about it, he's acquired these trap bandos back in 2019, and time has gone by like that. So when he's 60, where will he be in terms of his health? Where will this FDMG project be? What, is he going to open up a school at the age of 60 and then be in poor health on the trajectory? Because he likes to eat unhealthy food and all this kind of stuff. He has a lot of different issues that he's dealing with. So it's a serious problem for Umar, you know. That's why Timothy, I actually think, and it's sad to say that Umar, he's given up on his own life. And what I mean by that is we can be optimistic about, okay, what tomorrow will bring. I know I am. There's times where I'm not as optimistic. You know, I'm like, damn, you know, but then there's other times I say, no, just stay on. So you got a plan, keep running your plan. You know, things are a lot better now than they were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever the case may be. But I don't think Umar looks at his life like that. I think he's already given up. And so he's content with just begging for money and scamming people to get money out of people for survival purposes. I don't think he cares. Like, where will he be when he's 60? And you're right. He doesn't have family support. He doesn't have a family, a traditional family. He doesn't have a wife. You know, his children, he don't deal with his children. So, and his daughter don't like him. I can tell that. So where is he going to be when he's 60? Yeah. Yeah, he's set to fail, but I think he's given up. I don't think he cares about it anymore. No. Okay. Thank you, Timothy, for the super chat. Yeah, it's sad because, like I said, he's been given everything he's needed. Like, he's received millions of dollars, but he doesn't have his own place at the age of 52. He doesn't have his own vehicle. It's sad, but it is what it is. These are his consequences. Okay. Thanks, Timothy. Giannis Sentendrey says, "Hi, thank you so much, John. Hope you're doing all right." Okay, good to see you. What's up, T. Jones? Sentendrey says, "Happy poop." I think that's not what my daughter, when she gets in the car and we put her cell phone and connect it to the Bluetooth, the thing pops up as poop head something. And so I guess there's an emoji called a poop head or something. When that first popped up, I said, "What in the world are you put on? What is this?" She explained it to me. I don't remember exactly what she said, but whenever she gets in the car, I put her, because she likes listening. All my kids like listening to music, but she puts on. She always listens to the weekend. We have a weekend song. Running for my life, I want to live again. Okay, thanks, T. Jones. And then Umar mold that. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Umar needs to mold that FDMG roof. If you guys don't know, it was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in this Umar Johnson saga. So I can't remember who went up there. No, that was Brother Enterprise. Brother Enterprise went up there and he did a walk around these abandoned buildings, and he happened to pan the camera up, and on the roof there was plants growing. Like, not plants, it was like grass growing up there. I kid you not. This Umar Johnson saga is something. I ain't never seen nothing like that. So I need to get up there and mold the roof. Okay, thanks, T. Jones. User 25 says, why Queen Mother wearing the world's largest bonnet? There wasn't no bonnet. Cut it out. That's African attire. Okay. Tanya sent in 200 jewels and said, sunshine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're almost done, everybody. Baba Hogan says, Umar Johnson will return in Avengers. No, he won't. He would be a good supervillain, though. Okay, thanks, Baba Hogan. Radar Off Robin says, what do you think would happen if 50 or so of his supporters, donors showed up to FDMG today? I think they'd be disappointed. That's for sure. If let's say if they walked around and just saw the mold on the outside and stuff, it's likely that Umar wouldn't be there. But if they just showed up, yeah, I think that they would be very disappointed. You know, even deeper still, what if they happen to stay out there long enough to where it gets dark, and then they start seeing the dope fiends come through and the homeless people? Because you guys do realize that's a spot. It's abandoned. So there's been times where Umar, he's walked up there and there's used condoms, there's syringes. You know, one time, I kid you not, and I have the video. I just don't remember what year it was, but Umar, he was up there. And that was it was a bucket. And what happens with homeless people, because they don't have a toilet, they'll have a bucket and they'll urinate and defecate in that bucket. And that's what was sitting up there on them steps, at the top of the steps. So I think if they went up there today and if they stayed long enough, if during the day, if they see how, I think they would be disappointed. But if they stayed long enough, they'll realize very quickly that the neighborhood, it's unbecoming and it's unfitting for people out of state or even in state to send their children there. It's just not safe when they can send their children and pay $500 a month to a school that's unaccredited. See, it just none of it makes sense. So I think that if it was 50 people, they would probably just be disappointed, and it just would not be a good look. At least one of them would live stream it. You know, I wish they would, because they'll realize very quickly that it's a money pit, and it's nothing more than a long con. It's a scam. Yeah. And real talk, Radar for Robin, these days, I don't feel bad for the donors. I don't, because if you're still donating to Umar in 2026, that's on you at this point. See, Umar made a promise. The promise was to open up FDMG September 11, 2013, and people sent him millions of dollars, and here we are in 2026, and the school's still not open, not even close. So people still want to donate. I can't feel bad for them. Okay? And people do whatever you want to with your money. It's your money. Right? No. Okay, thank you, Radar for Robin. Dr. Nene says, on a side note, Lenon, I see that the Cookie Crush sign behind. I don't know how that plant got there. Okay, it's heavy. I don't know who put that there, but we're not gonna get into that today. He said, "You ain't slick." I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know what you're talking about. To be honest, what sign are you referring to? Okay. Yesterday was crazy. I haven't gone back to watch it. I think I'm gonna edit it and just put that on YouTube, because you guys went in on me without. It was unprovoked. Okay, without provocation. Okay, and it's your fault, Dr. Maybe. Okay, thank you. But I don't see no sign. I don't even know what sign you're talking about, ma'am. Okay, all right. Thank you for the super chat. And Salute Information Man says Umar is content because people keep platforming him. Speak on it. Yeah, I think so. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but when Umar being platformed is what, not only in many cases he gets paid for it, but it keeps Umar relevant when it comes to newer audiences, people who aren't familiar with Umar, or they haven't done research on Umar. And they may have heard about him, but they don't know his history. Okay, they don't know that the school was supposed to open September 11, 2013. See, they don't know about his shockumentary scam, or his Rules of Romance scam, or all the different other scams that he's run over these many years. So yeah, when people platform him, he becomes content, because people, you know, and I've done this quite a bit. There's Umar when he live streams, but there's also Umar where he's being platformed, and we'll cover some of that. We don't cover all of it. We'll cover some of those the times where he's being platformed. But I don't know if you've noticed this. Umar content right now, and this has been the case for about 6 weeks. It's down across the board on YouTube. Okay, now maybe on other places it may be different, but on YouTube, it's almost as if the algorithm has shut him out. Now he'll get good views, like if he goes on the Art of Dialogue, but that's because the Art of Dialogue already has an audience built in. It's a massive audience. Okay, highly successful YouTube page. But when other people have platformed him, they're not getting many views. When Umar does videos and they show up on the internet, on YouTube, not getting many views. When other people cover Umar, it's not getting many views. And right now, when I do Umar videos, not getting many views. Okay, and part of the reason is because people have gotten tired of Umar. Now, it's not good for my channel, but I've seen this happen over the years. There's these ebbs and flows with Umar, but right now, he's not relevant. He's not. And I think he knows that. See, let's look at it this way. What is Umar most known for? What is the thing that people associate with Umar the most? FDMG. But here we are in 2026. And you know this, people back in 2019 who were supportive of Umar with FDMG, 2020, 2021, most of those people, they're not supportive of Umar. You know this too. Many of the people who used to defend Umar online vehemently and attack Umar critics, you've dealt with some of that too. Those people aren't around anymore supporting Umar. See, that's what I'm saying. The tides have turned. And I've stated this. I have a sense next year, in and around February of next year, all of this is going to look very much different. I already have a contingency plan set up, and that's why I want to have the documentary done, the rough draft done by January, so that I can have the final draft done to drop on it would be the 8-year anniversary of Umar acquiring these trap panels in Wilmington. But I think by that time, it's gonna look way, way different. It's not good for my YouTube page, okay? But it's a reality, okay? So yeah, one of the reasons why Umar, he becomes content is not so much these days about FDMG. He rarely goes up there. He rarely gives an update. He gives lies about a contractor, this Jamaican immigrant. But what keeps him relevant these days is when he gets on these podcasters, on their podcasts. But outside of that, FDMG, it's done. And Umar knows that. He knows it. Okay? Like I said, it's not good for my YouTube page, but that's the reality of the situation, Okay, salute to you, sir. Double salute to information, man. OG, he's been around a long time. Okay, very long time. Thank you, sir. Okay, if the school opened, would you donate or show up? No, I wouldn't donate and I wouldn't show up. The reason why I wouldn't donate is because even if the school, let's say if the school opened next year, it does indicate the fact that Umar has spent most of the donation money on himself over the years. And he's even lied about the purchase price. Excuse me. There's one time more recently, he said he paid around, back in the day, I think it was in 2019. He's claimed that he paid around $700,000. The purchase price was $400,000. On the Lord Jamar interview, and I think that was in 2022, I think. Yeah, 2022, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah. He stated that Lord Jamar said it was $400,000, but that's because he had seen my documentary, because I had the purchase price listed, and I showed the receipt. You can see that it's online. And Umar says it was more than that. Okay. More recently, he said it was $500,000, $500,000, but the purchase price was $400,000. Now, the point that I'm making is that the purchase price being $400,000, Umar was at $1 million at the end of 2016. By 2019, when he purchased these abandoned buildings, he should have been sitting on around $600,000, and we're not counting 2017 or 2018 money raised in 2016. So we can probably bump that up. Let's say another 200,000, just to throw that figure out there as an estimate. So he should have had about $800,000 left over. But in 2019, he was alluding to the notion that he didn't have any more money left. Where'd all the money go? So the point that I'm getting at here is that there's so much money that is missing. And at this point, it's over $1 million. It's probably closer to 1.5, maybe even $1.6 million that's just missing in all this, because he has to have raised about $3 million. It wouldn't make sense for me to donate if he opened, because most of the money has disappeared. Most of the money he's used for himself, and most of the money that was supposed to go towards FDMG has not gone towards FDMG. And that trend will continue. That's not going to change whether he opens up or not. That's not going to change. Let's say if Umar ran this scam for another 4 years and we get to 2030, the same rule is going to apply, that most of the money he spends on himself and he doesn't spend towards this project that was supposed to open. The grand opening was supposed to be September 11, 2013. We're in 2026. So no, I wouldn't donate and I wouldn't show up either. That's one thing, even from a cybersecurity perspective, there's things that I would not do. I wouldn't put myself in a position to where Umar can say, oh, well, listen, this guy, he's showing up here, because you know how Umar is, and he's doing this and he's doing last year, he said that I hacked his bank account. So I wouldn't even put myself in that type of position. Now, if Umar ever wanted to come onto my platform and be interviewed, he's welcome to do so. I'll pay him. I'll give him a couple bucks. No, if he ever wanted to come on, he could. Yeah. Anyway, now, again, this all assumes that the school opens. Okay, I've already stated that if Umar ever opens up a fully functional accredited school, then I will get on here and I apologize, because I always stated that he would never open up a school. Okay, but if he somehow magically does, I'll get up here and apologize. Okay, he still scammed millions of dollars out of black people, though. Okay, thanks, Side 7 News. Okay, let me do these other one real quickly. I gotta be up out of here. User 2 device says, peace to my Anton Chigurh hair queens. Look at it. I ain't looking it up. It's probably something crazy. I am not doing it. Thanks, User 2 device. Radar for Robin says, when he passes, his obituary quote will say, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Now, I don't want to laugh at this, because some people say, now, if he passes, I don't like to think like that. I really don't. But I will say this, Radar for Robin, that in addition to the FDMG school scam, what Umar Johnson will be remembered for is this phrase. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. And what it shows is that he's reduced himself from a sort of black leader. Don't take this the wrong way. He's reduced himself from being the so-called Pan-Africanist black leader, professional, school psychologist, school principal, most requested scholar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down to a minstrel show. And the minstrel show features Umar like Good Times featured JJ. And JJ used to always say, dynamite. You guys remember that? For you older folk. It's a form of shucking and jiving. And Umar he'll be remembered for that. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Can you imagine Frederick Douglass saying some shit like that? Or Marcus Garvey saying some shit like that? Or Malcolm X? Or Martin Luther King? Black kings forever, snow bunnies never. He's reduced himself to minstrelsy. Thanks, Rated R for Robin. And then a lady says, after Umar Johnson, I hope you continue on scammer content. Yeah, there's a lot of other people. You guys know that. Okay. But I have a contingency plan that I've been sitting on for quite a few years now. I just know that things are winding down with this. And again, like I said, it's not good for my YouTube page, but it's just life, you know. There's no way in my mind that I can see Umar carrying this out for another 3-4 years. I just don't see it. It's just where it's devolved to in 2026. There's no way. Okay. And in 2019, I said, okay, maybe he can go for another 3 years, maybe 4 years max. Well, it's about to be 8 years. Goodness gracious. But there's a big difference between, for those y'all been around, between 2026 and 2019. It's not the same all the way around. Okay. And the algorithm proves it dealing with Umar. No. Okay, thanks, lady. What's up, Miss Conscious? I'm watching Pockets. Yes, I know. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Controversy. Okay, let's finish this up. I'm just going to play the end of this other video, and then we'll be up out of here. Tomorrow, for you members, we will be getting together before the live stream for everyone, and we'll be doing part 3 of the Cheyenne Bryant series, who was another scammer. We'll do that tomorrow, and then after that, we'll have a live stream. I want to do the video where Umar's speaking in front of children, and it's just horrible, absolutely horrible. We'll get into that tomorrow. Okay, thanks again, Ms. Controversy. Hope you're doing all right. And let's go. As a matter of fact, let me close out this poll too, by the way. The poll question is, has Umar Johnson received enough FDMG donation money to open something by now? 92% said yes, and 8% said no. And the answer is yes. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone who voted on that poll. And also, thanks again for everyone who sent the super chats, who sent super stickers or gifts. I appreciate the support. And thanks to the mods too for handling business. Okay, let's finish this up, everybody. Quick reset. Here we go.
A resurgence. Our critics would say, though, we have to put more metal to the movement. There's a lot of theory, ideology, but now we have to put it into place. And I think with this movement toward reparations, this movement towards dual citizenship, the success in the preeminence of Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso and what he's doing with the 2 other brothers there in the Sahel Alliance is beginning to catch fire. But we have to stay focused and we must remain independent. There's no place for the Chinese in this movement. There's no place for the Indian, the Latino, the Jew, the Arab. This is for African people. We must do it ourselves. Even if they're trying to help our cause? There is.
Yeah, but Marcus Garvey met with the KKK. What are you talking about, Umar? And he had a cabinet member who was a white woman. She was to be more specific, she was, where is that at over there in UK? I always forget. Anyway, you know, leprechauns.
No member of another race who cares enough about.
I'm not saying that she was a leprechaun. I'm saying, you know, over there they got the leprechauns and the gold and the potato. That's what I'm talking about.
You to make you equal to his people, because if you do that, if they do that, that imbalances their ability to exploit you. If Jamaica rises, how many Chinese?
Yeah, Ireland. Yeah, he had a woman. She was Irish, and them Irish women be looking good. There was one Irish lady on Star. I had a crush on her. Star Trek Next Generation. Anybody remember that episode? They had transported this colony, and they had like chickens and goats and all these different animals. And there was this one lady, and Riker got with her because he was a hoe, but he got with her. And that lady, she said, "You want to wash my feet?" I said, "Ma'am, are you talking to me?" Unfortunately, she was talking to Will Riker. All right. And yeah, he washed them feet. He sure did. And then she had something on and she pulled the little string and the thing popped off. I said, my God. So I got to get me a Starship. I got to go find that. I got to go find that episode. Okay, that episode was something else. Boy, she pulled that string. I said, "Oh my God!" The thing just went down. She had some hips on her too. I said, "Oh no!" I found my gold. I said, "I'll be your leprechaun." Okay, anyway, you guys know I'm into sci-fi. It was a true story though. This is the episode. I can't remember what the episode was called. After Johnson, no, we not. Stop. Lewis says, off topic. I remember your content when you would make music. If Branford Marcellus called and said, "Make something for him," I think you still got it. Well, not Branford Marcellus type of music. But yeah, I can write songs. You know, I got songs in my head that still, you know, stuff I've written out and stuff. I just have not had the time. You know? Yeah. Branford Marcellus, he had a great album when I was in college the first time. So this was probably around 1993, 1993, 94. I can't remember what the album was called, but it was a masterpiece. Branford. Yeah. Let's see. Album from I thought it was 1993, but it could have come out before that or after. Yeah, it's not 1993. Let me see 1994. Yeah, it's not coming up. I'm not sure. Branford Marcellus best. Let me do this. Best album. Oh, well, here's his discography. And this is Wynton Marsalis's brother. Yeah, I had it on CD. Anyway, I just can't remember what the title was, but it was a master. It was a masterpiece. Anyway, thanks Louis Luck for super chat. Okay, let's finish this up, everybody. I'm gonna go look up that episode too, because I want to see what episode that was.
Businesses go out of business. If the Black Jamaican rises, how many Indian businesses will go out of utilization? So our rise spells their economic disaster. Nobody wants to see the black man rise.
You speak later. In a nutshell, what would you say?
Sir.
I know you want people to come and
absolutely listen, tonight, iNation Lounge, Old Spanish Town Road, 7 to 12 p.m. tonight. I speak at.
Yeah, I think it's the album called "The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born." I think, but I would have to go back and listen.
I'm going to speak about Garvey because we really need to understand that, but I'm going to speak about the unity because although white supremacy, which is now beginning to yield to a Chinese and an Indian supremacy because the Caucasian is losing his numerical strength, not that he ever had it, but he's getting smaller. The Chinese population is getting bigger in India.
Yeah, the episode from Star Trek Next Generation is called Up the Long Ladder, Season 2, Episode 18. Yeah, that lady, boy, I tell you. goodness.
India has now surpassed China as the largest nation in the world. So they're looking for places to colonize. They're looking for places to exploit. And the solution for us, as the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture said, if you organize a little, you get a little done. If you organize some, you get some done. But if you don't organize at all, you don't get anything.
And if you organize a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why Umar, he hasn't gotten FDMG done because he doesn't have organization skills. I've talked about this for a long time. Zero organization skills.
Yes.
A lot done.
Yes.
Okay.
We are where we are because of organization, not the color. We are disorganized, and that's why we are exploited.
Yep. Final question from me, Doc.
Yeah, but you're always saying that it's because of the color. So which one is it? And you so disorganized up here looking like Mr. T. Cut it out.
Umar, from what you know about us as Jamaicans,
yes,
are we getting it right? Have we got it right?
My biggest concern.
All right, let me say this. You don't ask another man about your people and what he thinks and somehow ask him, or do we get it right? Okay, first of all, be a man. You don't ask another man, well, do you think us as Jamaicans, you think we're getting it right? What are you talking about? That's like me. Let's just flip it around. There's a Jamaican guy running his mouth. They're living in mama closet and don't take care of his kids and don't have his own, been homeless since 2019. And I asked this guy, who's a deadbeat, dope fiend from Philly. I asked him, well, you know, what do you think about everything that you know about black people here in the United States of America? Do we get it right? What? And of course, this placates to Umar's ego because he think he know everything about everywhere. So he got an answer. That's one thing about Umar. He got an answer for everything except where this fake funky school at. Let's go.
For Jamaica, I express.
Umar, from what you know about us as Jamaicans,
yes,
are we getting it right? Have we got it?
Okay, let's be clear about something. Not all Jamaicans are the same. Okay, so stop. Okay, and no disrespect, just based upon how you dress proves that all Jamaicans ain't the same, sir. No disrespect. So don't relinquish your power as a Jamaican man over to Umar, who ain't nothing but a bum from Philly. See, real quick, I ain't gonna be long. It's fascinating to me how black people will take a disempowered position amongst even amongst other black people. And yet these be the same, not all the time, but in some cases, the same black people who say that it's white people that's suppressing black people. Well, if you're reducing yourself to the point where you asking literally a bum from Philly who's been homeless since 2019, what is his opinion of all Jamaicans, you put yourself, sir, in a subservient position to this bum from Philly.
Right. My biggest concern for Jamaica, I expressed this 10 years ago in Ocho Rios, IRE FM. I keynoted the Garvey Day. And I expressed concern about the concessions that the Jamaican government is giving to the Chinese investor. That north-south highway that they built for $700 million and giving them a 50-year control over the tolls of that north-south highway and 1,200 acres of land to the Chinese to use as they so please, that is neocolonialism. We have to be very careful. And Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the great Osagefo, talked about this in his book, Neocolonialism. He said, the new colonialism looks like investment. And that is exactly what's happening in Jamaica. And if we do not stop, 50 to 75 years from now, the Chinese flag will be flying on this island and not Jamaica. Marcus Garvey turns in his grave.
Oh, cut it out, Umar. Stop with the theatrics. Look at his face. It's not even necessary to be doing all that.
Paul Bogle turns in his grave. Sam Sharp, Nanny, Captain Cujo.
This guy over here breakdancing. Shit, he pop locking. he be doing too much. And again, I understand using your hands, okay, but Umar, he do everything. This guy, he'll turn, he'll do a flip, he'll do a spin. He started arching his back and let me stop. Thanks, our kids will see this. Umar start arching his back. Anyway.
They're turning in their grave because the very thing that they talked about, sovereignty for Jamaica, is at risk because we won't stop accepting the so-called investment, which is nothing but a disguise for neocolonialism.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great to see you.
Where do we see you later now?
Umar really think he's special. Look at his face. Watch how he's
Thank you,
looking.
sir.
Great to see you.
Look.
Where do we see
this guy? Umar up here look like a black conscious pit bull. Anyway, that lady's name is Rosalind Landor. I was just looking her up. And there's that shot right there where she had, anyway. All right. Umar really think he big time.
you later now?
I
Town
Nation,
Road?
Old
I
Spanish
Nation.
Town
What
Road,
time?
7 to 12.
7
Dr.
to
Umar speaks at 9.
There's a flyer on screen. If you want to hear more from Doc, powerful speaker, whether you agree or disagree with what he has to say. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I don't think she agree with a lot of what Umar be saying.
Going to go for a break. We examined land settlements and the law.
Okay, Doc could stick around for that one too. We'll be right
Soon
back.
What did he say? Mama. Huh? We want to catch that before we get up out of here. What is that? What he said? When did we get up out of here?
We'll be right
Soon
back.
Mama.
What did he just say? Someone said I thought he said mama. What's up, Coco? Well, you know, hey, listen, these different folk, different whatever. People do what they. I see your point. I do see your point, but people want to dress how they want to dress. One more time. I said, what did this guy just say?
The law.
Okay, Doc could stick around for that one too. We'll be right
Soon
back.
Mama.
What in the world? Who are crazy? Mama like Mama. I'm sorry. Let's get up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Mama. He was all gripping the chair when he said it. Umar was gripping the chair when he said it. Well, last time we were up out
Okay,
of
Doc
here.
could stick around for that one too. We'll be right
Soon
back.
Mama.
Show me love. All right. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I had a wonderful time. I thank you so much. If you enjoyed the show, I forgot to ask. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button before you head up out of here. So tomorrow, the plan is I'll be doing a live stream for members only. We'll be doing part 3 of the series on Cheyenne Bryant. It's gotten wild. And then after that, we'll do a live stream for everyone. I'll schedule it after I'm done with this live stream. Give me like 20 minutes and I'll have it up here. And I don't plan on live streaming over the weekend unless something crazy happens. And then we'll be back on Mondays. But tomorrow, we'll be back for sure. Okay. I want to thank you guys again for tuning on. And shout out to everyone in the Cooker Chat. Also, thanks to everyone who sent in. If you sent in super chat, super stickers, or gifts during this live stream, I want to humbly thank you for your support. I'm appreciative and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. Okay, I appreciate all y'all support. Okay, and then also shout out to the mods. Okay, and as we always do, Mama.
I'll continue with my message. Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20. But thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that.
Thanks, your kids
Thank
will
you,
see
sister.
this. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you so much. And shout out to Black Mario. Next time, make it 20. Scammer Visions of the album.
Good
and now this is the video minute. All right.
Good sisters. I appreciate
You
that
are
$10
so welcome.
donation.
Thank you for modding too, Francisco. Yeah, good night, Coco. Give the puppies a hug
Next
for me,
time.
all right?
Make it
Justice.
20.
Next time, make it 20.
What's the stuff
She
on?
came up smiling
Huh?
after
What?
the program was through. Said, brother, here's $10. I'm supporting you.
You like her. Yeah, I love you too. Thank you for tuning in. Love
I
all
looked at
y'all.
the queen and I nodded my head. Said, thank you, sister. Then this is what I said.
Next
Well,
time,
this
make it
Umar
20.
Johnson
Times are
song
hard.
is crazy.
I understand. Everybody doing the best
thanks,
they
thanks,
can,
Urban.
but dreams this
I'm a fan
big
too.
take
I'm a fan
more
of you,
than
bro.
hope.
I'm a fan
Trying
of
to
Red Uncle
build,
Robin,
not
Francisco,
let go.
Sweet D,
Everybody
GB,
saying
Patrick,
that fisk and flat tires. We're
Joanne.
not selling water ices.
Thank you.
We
Thank you,
building
Joanne.
institutions, family.
Thank you.
We not fisk
Yeah, thanks
and
for tuning in
flat
to
tires.
Lynn.
We not selling water ices. We
Queen.
building institutions, family.
Sweet D.
Next time, make it 20.
Unlock.
If the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10.
You're so welcome.
But here's
You
what
are
I
so welcome,
gotta
dear.
say.
Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you.
Next time, make it 20.
Akilo,
Let
thank
the
you.
whole congregation see.
Thank you, Akilo, for the kind words.
We not fisk and flat tires.
Salute,
we building
ma'am.
institutions, family. Hey. Oh,
There's a Persian queen. That was a mess right there.
People asking questions every single day.
If you don't stop,
How you
you better
gonna
leave my
build
sign
it? How
alone.
you gonna pay?
You can't see it anyway.
I
can't
say
see
one
it.
donation, one dream at a time.
Leave my sign alone. All right, thanks, Dr. Day.
Everybody pitching in to help us climb. This ain't about quick fixes. This ain't about little gimmicks. Trying to leave something standing tall for the next generation and all. We not fisk and flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Oh, we not fisk and flat tires.
You so welcome.
We not
Joanne.
selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20. If the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10. But here's what I gotta say. Next time, make it 20. Let the whole congregation see. We not fisk and flat tires.
Y'all want me to free the sign tomorrow?
We building institutions,
All right,
family.
Biscuit to crack. Yeah. I'm about to be Biscuit to go to bed. Boy, this right here, man.
What we doing?
Yeah, it is.
What we not doing?
It's horrible.
We not fisking flat tires.
Thank you, Drew.
What else?
MP.
We not selling water ices. One more time. One more time. We doing it. We building institutions, family. Now everybody clap your hands. Left side sing. We not fisking flat tires. Right side sing. Right side sing. Everybody together. We building institutions.
Yeah, Patrick, that's what Umar said. That's what he said. He told the truth.
Next time, make it 20. When prosperity comes through, I appreciate the 10. And I appreciate you too. Yeah. Next time, make it 20. That's the message
peace to
for
you.
today. Yeah. We building institutions, family.
Hey, my David.
We're doing
Thanks
it
for
all
tuning
the
in.
way. We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions.
Here go Miguel. How's it going, Michael? Here go Miguel Jackson.
We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ice.
Good night, boss.
We building
Clean that up for you, boss.
institutions, family.
Think about it, it's like you thought.
Next time.
Unlock my mind.
20.
All right, shout out to Black Mario. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. You guys know the schedule. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. And hit the like button before you head out the building if you haven't already. Okay, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.